up, Woodward? We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid
I'm
hot.
fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener! Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm, because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
What up, dope people? Thank you guys for choosing to kick off the morning with the Woo crew.
Woo, woo, woo,
Hey, we got 4 of the starting 5 in the building. Shout out to Flannel Sam. We should be on Big D Energy today. We got Matt Broder in the building. We got the elite booth, Detroit's #1 draft pick. It's the KG in the sound booth. What up, dope?
What up, though, man?
Chilling. And Woodward Sports is MVP in the titty booth because it's a Friday show. JBSMOOOOOV.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
What up, though? And you guys, you know what? 6th man of the year already. We got Justin in the building.
Look at this man.
What the Stanley
Yo,
Cup?
yo,
Check this out.
yo, let's go.
Has someone already made the Johnny Damon reference?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you didn't know? Did you not know who that was?
No, I knew who it was. I just didn't see it. Everyone just says the long hair. I don't know.
In the beard. It was before he went to the New York Yankees when he was on the Red Sox. They let the beard. They let it all flow.
He looks similar.
Yeah. Maybe a little Josh Reddick.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
give it about 7 out of 10. He's almost Johnny Damon.
Yeah.
Almost.
almost. Hey, chat family.
Dallas Stars.
As always, you guys are the most important part of the Wake Up Woodward show and this crew. Smash that like button to support. Once you have, encourage somebody else to do the same. Broder,
Encourage him.
how are you feeling this morning?
I'm
Before
feeling
you tell
great.
the people what we talking about.
Yeah, I'm feeling great. I'm excited for a Friday show. We got some hot topics.
Let's go.
Hot topics coming up
Hot topic.
involving the Tigers, involving Jared Goff, who spoke to the media yesterday.
Ooh.
Then we got we have a big mock at 9 o'clock.
Wow.
We're talking top 10 quarterbacks.
Whipping stuff
In the
out on a
NFL.
Friday.
We've been talking about Jared Goff so much over the last couple of weeks, definitely over this last week. It's time, a way too early prediction, of a top 10 quarterback. So I want to see what you think. Justin and I were already talking before the show. I think he's going to rip my list apart. But that's the fun in these lists. It's a top 10 list. It's Friday. It's the middle of summer, about to be the summer.
You know
What are you
man?
gonna do?
Hey, the
What are you
world,
gonna do?
The world runs on caffeine and opinion.
Seriously,
It does.
especially from Roast. They got great caffeine. Roast Coffee here in Birmingham and in Royal Oak, right at 696 in Woodward. Go check them out.
That's
Delicious.
right.
It's also crack infused.
You
Wake
know
up,
what?
drink coffee, be awesome, repeat.
So you guys already understand what type of show is about to be today.
It's
Off
about
the
to be.
rails.
But before we get started,
Yes,
I just
sir.
need 20 seconds. Need to apologize. On Wednesday, earlier this week, we played a video on here, and through a little bit of disorganization, we failed to give credit to the proper account. It was pulled from Twitter, from @Darko State News. It was a Jared Goff chanting video. That is totally a mistake of ours. I take responsibility for it. As one of the hosts, it's something I should have caught before the show. It won't happen again. We're tightening up our processes, but Darko State News deserves credit for that Jared Goff chant video. We pulled it on Twitter. We got to be better about making sure we give proper credit when it's due. So he gets all credit for that. Won't happen again. We'll keep improving and make sure these mistakes don't happen again. But
Hey,
again,
that's what it's about, man.
Yeah.
It's about wanting to be better, getting better every single day.
Yeah.
It's the Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell way.
Exactly.
we go.
Hey, there's
And you
nothing
know
wrong
what?
with admitting when you're wrong. You make a mistake. We just
Hey,
got to do better.
And it's the whole crew.
Yeah.
It's the whole crew.
Let's go.
You don't have to fall on no sword. I think the entire 5 plus Justin are willing to say, hey, we have to all be better.
100%.
Yes, sir.
100%.
We got your back.
That's
Yes.
what the striving is for, man. Hey, look, you guys already understand my beliefs. I'm not looking for people to be perfect. I'm looking for people to want to strive to get there. And that's what I know about everybody that's here.
Woo-woo.
And that's what I love about it. Like, to be able to trust. I told you guys, man, I put my head down for so many years and just focused on the family, focused on being a father, focused on trying to be a better person every day for the wife. Why? Because when it's young and dumb, running with, the crew, there were some things that just kind of had to back away from all of it.
Yeah.
Entering back into what Woodward Sports has been, honestly, it's been good for the mental. It's been cool to have a brotherhood again. It's been cool to have those high school in college sports debates and talks and everything. It's been cool to be a part of the fabric of Detroit sports the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And you guys have like the biggest part to play in that, along with the chat family. So
100%.
definitely, brother.
100%. You know how hard you work and a bunch of guys work when you make your own content. You want people to give you credit too. So regardless, content creators out there, you deserve all the credit when your stuff is shown, and you're definitely going to get that moving forward. So sorry about that. That is a mistake. This is my apology, and I hope we can move on from this.
Let's rock, man.
Let's rock. What are we talking about today? We already teased a little bit. But in this next section, this next segment, I've got a question for you about a Tiger star, and I'm going to phrase it. I'm gonna give it to you right before we go to break.
Hey, yo.
Oh, I'm gonna give it to you before we go to. Yep, you're catching me already.
It's a Friday show.
But we were talking schedule yesterday. We've been talking Lions a lot.
Yeah.
And there was a graphic we put out. It was the betting odds for the Lions through all 17 games of their 2024 season.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you guys, which game surprises you the most? These odds, whether it's the Lions are favored or their opponent's favored in 4 of them, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and you know what? KG and I, we already had one that we agreed on instantly. It's like, what? We think it should be. We'll save it. Let's talk about it right now. You know, the San Francisco game. That 4.5 point spread to me is a little disrespectful to what we know the Detroit Lions are going to be, especially when you look at all of the other spreads. It's not like they're saying that the Lions are going to be something weak. They're saying the Lions are going to go out there based on the spread right now. It's a 13-4 schedule. But then you get to that San Francisco game, and it's like they're telling us, you're not quite on this level. I thought it would have been more like, we said, well, yesterday, KG, like 2.5, 3?
Yeah, around there.
Yeah. How you feeling about it, man?
Well, I don't necessarily like it. I feel like it's a tad disrespectful. It definitely should be closer to like 2.5. I get it if you want to have the 49ers favored. They're at home. It's later in the season. I definitely get all that. But 4.5, that's a bit much for me. That's a bit much.
See, I'm looking at that away Green Bay game. Plus 1.5, Green Bay's favored.
Yeah.
I know that's not like a huge,
it's not
a huge mark, but how do they come from that? Like they're basing that on potential too. Like, don't get me wrong, I think Green Bay can be good, but
yeah,
is that just because of the loss on Thanksgiving last year? Like it looked that bad?
Yeah, I would say so.
All right, you guys have an opinion, even on ones that the Lions are favored, because they are favored. Some 13 games.
A lot of games. I was surprised.
I know.
Weird.
JB.
That's weird.
Or Justin.
It don't matter.
Oh, I thought you were pointing at somebody.
Oh yeah, I was saying JB.
Oh yeah.
No, that's weird that we're favored in like so many of these games, but you got to give some respect to the Lions as well too. I don't know. The Dallas game kind of concerns me because it's like a coin toss. That 0.5, like they want you to take either side, and it's just kind of crazy how that all shaped out. But San Francisco plus 4.5 for them, really?
Yeah.
You don't think that we're gonna be a little upset about what happened this past season? That we're actually gonna come out with a lot of firepower on this game and actually not try and make mistakes like we did before? Like, come on.
What about Tampa Bay, Justin, or Seattle, that are both the Lions favored by 6 points? Like Tampa Bay, I don't think they're the most amazing team in the world, but they could be sneaky good and just lost to the Lions in the playoffs.
I unfortunately think that the Lions will drop one in our first 4. I think there's going to be a stinker in there. I think so. One of those games will unfortunately be a stinker. Everyone is picking them to be undefeated through the first 8. I don't see that. I think that's a little unrealistic. It's the NFL. There's a lot of talent. But the game that is most telling to me, I'm going to piggyback off JB, is the Cowboys game. I think they're telling you that the Lions have truly arrived. If you are a half-point underdog going into Jerry World, they think you're going to win the game because they already get the points for being America's team. They get the points for being at home, and they all those factors swing it to the Cowboys, but they still are putting the respect on the Lions to not give you points where if they lose by 3, they lose by 2, you still get the number. But I really think that they know that the Lions are going to win that game in Dallas.
I know they're going to win that game in Dallas.
Oh, yeah. Or that they're going to get screwed and lose by a point.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
what I'm thinking.
That's
That's
where
a
my
job
mind
on the
went.
way.
Dan Campbell's not going to let that game be close at all.
Okay. I hope so.
It might be a 70-point
Boat
win.
race them then.
What was that?
Boat race.
I said boat race them
Boat
then.
race. Make that
that's fair.
spread look silly. Boat racing. You know what?
Boat racing?
When they-
Wait, I'm missing something.
When they went to just speedboat, just race.
Oh, got
past
you,
it.
got you.
If I would have put motor in front of it, this
Yeah.
would probably somewhere different.
Oh, yeah.
But I agree with you, KG. Last year going into the Dallas Cowboys game, I will admit I didn't know quite how the Lions would stack up against. What a lot of people were saying was this is their first opportunity now to match up with a team that's going to be in the playoffs, and we want to see where they're at. Obviously, we knew the Ravens game. People chalked it up to outside. A couple of the other clunkers, there were some factors, but this was the one indoors, similar team. You're in the playoffs. Go get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, they surprised me. You guys know how I feel about that game, too. There's an asterisk there. That is a Lions dub to me. This year, though, take the next step. That's my theme for this Detroit Lions season. If we're still kind of looking at the schedule with last year's team in mind, last year's mentality in mind, this team not quite knowing what they're capable of, no, we're dealing with a team that now knows what the expectation is, and they want it themselves. Yes, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, they're going to talk about it, but Penei Sewell doesn't need them to talk about it to want it. Amon-Ra St. Brown doesn't need them to talk about it to want it, man. So this year, I'm actually more in line with KG on this thing. Go out there and absolutely boat race Dallas. Show that there's a difference between who you are and who they are. Just get it done. Take care of business.
Seriously.
Yes.
Seriously. Hey, I appreciate that. All the motorboating past the Cowboys, those motorboating son of the bees, get them. Wow.
And
We got
stay
one
out,
segment
Brad
coming up
Allen.
with the Tigers. They go to Arizona. They play the Diamondbacks tonight. 9:40 p.m. First
late
pitch.
game.
Eric
It's
Skugel's on the
late.
mound. Tomorrow, Jack Flaherty's on the mound. And then on Sunday, Matt Manning's on the mound. So we'll cover them more next week. But I have a question for you when we get back from break. There's a certain Tigers star. I'm wondering,
I don't like
is it
this
too
question.
early to start talking trade? Should
This
you be
is-
trading this
you know what?
player, this specific player? And I'll tell you who it is when we come back. But Kool-Aid, can you tell them about Premier Pet Supply?
I will tell them about Premier Pet Supply. We got Spicy Brodo on a Friday.
Spicy.
I'm telling you, know what? Let me throw that phone number out too. 313
Do it.
552-6322. Because we're going to want you guys in on this next conversation. Broder's really getting spicy here, y'all. We need you guys to call in. But give me your best. I can tell you where you can go to give your pet the best. It is Premier Pet Supplies, hands down Michigan's best pet store. They have all the same prices and all the conveniences of the big box and online retailers with one major difference. They've been family and locally owned for over 30 plus years. They carry over 60 brands of food and nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local curbside and home delivery. Give your pet the best at premierpetsupply.com. Visit them online at www.premierpetsupply.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years?
Oh, what?
You expand and you offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. They still offer the same great service that their customers have come to know and trust. So go check them out if you're looking for a car, whether you're looking to buy or lease. They're located on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile Road. Or you could go check them out in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. That is Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Let's drive. You know where we driving?
Where are we driving?
Right down Woodward, the legendary Woodward Avenue. You know what? The only sports town in America that has all 4 professional teams on one street.
That's
in
awesome.
downtown.
Distance.
Within
That's
walking
awesome.
distance. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yo, wait till these teams start winning.
That's the key.
Woo!
I don't think Detroit knows what, like, we're one of the best sports town in the country.
Yeah.
I don't know. Imagine once all 4 teams are good, which they will be at some point. Maybe not all at the same time, but they are going to be good. If they were all good at the same time, this place would explode.
Bro,
Yeah.
if they just weren't all kind of trash to some degrees, if they were all just kind of mid, downtown April in the D would be wild, bro. Wild. What's good, Justin?
That's what I was about to ask. April in the D, that used to be my favorite pastime growing up when all 3 sports teams were
generations.
still in it. Oh, that reminds me of the glory days. Oh, I can feel that in my soul.
You know what? Woodward Sports is around to see the rise and the return of April in the D.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we're going to be boots on the ground for that, definitely. But you know what? Before we get into this next segment, I love when other people get opportunities and can succeed. Shout out to people like Justin. Shout out to people like KG. Shout out to Chris Platty. Shout out to Nick.
Yeah.
People who have gotten their opportunities to be up on the desk. People who have gotten their opportunities to see their roles expanded. It's awesome. It's awesome because there's a lot of deserving people of opportunities. There's a lot of deserving people of the spotlight. And it's really, really, really cool. I know Nick, he was on the desk last night for the heavies.
Shout out.
Shout out to the heavies, man.
Shout out Nick.
Shout out Tailgate, man.
Tailgate win.
We've
Round of
all
applause for that.
done, I think, every job. Like started in the booths and had a moment up on the desk. Nick did great. Shout out to Speakeasy, baby, who's in the chat. Co-hosting, leading the way. I remember my first time on the desk. It's nerve-wracking, and you rely on. You want your co-host.
Nerve-wracking, bro.
Yeah, and Easy crushed it. Spenny was out at a wedding. He will be back, so it was a temporary move.
Yeah.
But seeing Nick out there, I love that. Like that brings me
It's
back
cool.
to Woodward Nights days,
Yeah,
to
man.
the early days. Nick's been a big part of this company before he was in the sound booth
For some time,
on
bro.
social, interning for the heavies.
He would come interview with me down at LCA.
Come on,
Yeah.
that's right.
That's where I first met him. It was right on the concourse. He walked up to me, he was like, Kool-Aid, I want to intern at Woodward Sports, man. I put in this, that, and the other. I think the heavies are going to try and help me. And it was cool to be able to track his journey at each of the different Pistons games we were coming to, leading up to him being able to walk up to me one day and was like, hey, bro, I'm a part of Woodward Sports now. And it was just like, this was a couple years ago. It was really, really cool to see him kind of reach this goal.
Amazing.
Yeah. Nick
Amazing.
deserve it. Shout out to him, man.
Shout out
definitely shout
to
out.
him.
Definitely. It's always cool to see the bros doing well because you know what? I ain't trading none of y'all.
None.
None of y'all. I want y'all on the squad. Every last one of y'all, from Easy to Spinny to all the other shows, Big D Energy, Ermanni and Edwards, and especially the Wake Up Woodward crew. But you got something that you want to pose.
You know how close to my heart left-handed pitchers are.
Oh my God! Don't
Right?
do it, man.
boy.
You know
the
that this
question's
Tigers
coming.
team, they're struggling. They're 21-22. The offense is the problem. It really is the only problem.
Yeah.
But they have a starter at the top of the rotation. His name is Tarek Skubal. He's a lefty. He's a Cy Young front runner. He's a guy I would love to see play out his career in the Old English D. But guys, I have to ask you.
We might need a drum roll and a reveal of the back screen.
I think they already saw it. I think it was already up on screen there for a minute. Would you consider trading Tarek Skubal at this moment?
Yo, that sounds so dirty.
I know. Literally, it's hard to even say that. Like, I don't want to put that out into the ether. But the reason, and this is the last thing I'll preface, and I want your guys' opinion before we jump into this discussion.
Yeah.
You would think his trade value is at an all-time high.
Of course.
You would think you could get a haul. You would think that someone in contention would trade a handful, trade key players to their farm system to land a top of the rotation, one of the best pitchers in baseball, a left-handed pitcher at the top of the rotation to land him. There are a few different directions we can go with this because what would the Tigers get back? Do you need major league players? Do you rebuild the farm system? Take it where you may. Would you consider trading Tarek Skubal?
I saw JB raising his hand in the TD booth, man. What's going on, bro?
I just gotta say, please don't trade this man because I just bought this man's Tigers Connect jersey. Please do not sit here and trade this man. Come on, that's $180 I just spent on this damn jersey.
You got to hit up the exchange, man. The jersey exchange.
Hey, I have a pretty nasty Skubal rookie card collection. Not that would lose value if he goes to a World Series contender and wins a World Series. Actually, I would probably raise it.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that when I was putting this together. But I'll take the fandom, the memorabilia side out of it. Man, KG.
What up?
you make a trade. I guess I'll give you my opinion. You make a trade, it would have to be a combination of top tier farm system, minor league talent, and not just decent major league player or players. You need someone who you can rely on every day. Like, you don't want to just.
That's true.
No, I don't mean to throw Matt Vierling under the bus, but you don't need another Matt Vierling and another Zach McKinstry. You want someone you can count on to play every day and be a above average to good major league. If you're going to give up Tarek Skubal.
Yeah. I understand the reasoning behind wanting to trade Skubal. I'm not doing it, though. Me personally, I'm not doing it. He's the only true ace in your pitching rotation. And when you look at the Tigers have money. So that's my big thing. If you're going to do something, spend money. Because Mickey's contract is off the books. If they finally decide to do something with Javi Baez, that'll open up some more money. You have money to spend. I would pursue something in the trade market. You have a lot of young talent in the farm system. I would maybe try to utilize some of the farm system talent. But as far as trading Skubal, at this point, no, I wouldn't do it.
All right.
Yeah,
There's other options. And if they were going to be all in for a player, they should have either done it before the season, or you could just wait till after the season or try and make a move at the deadline. But there's no pressing need right now. To me, this was an evaluation year from the jump, it appears. We are good enough to compete for the division on paper. But I'm not trading Skubal right now. He's the best thing you got going on this team.
And Cooley, before you go, I happen to agree with a lot of what KG said. I'm going to throw out there into the ether. He's got 2 more years of arbitration eligibility. So at some point within 2 to 3 years, he's going to get a contract over $200, maybe $300 million. If, and this is the other part of why you may consider trading him sooner rather than later, injuries.
Yeah.
I love his mechanics. He has recovered from an injury, hasn't had anything major since, but with pitchers, there's always that risk. He throws freaking 101 miles an hour.
This reminds me of the Michael Fulmer situation. It's very similar.
Yeah. And do you trust this front office to make the right move? That's the other part of it. Like, do you make the move in? We've been burned in Detroit by bad trades before.
We have. But has Scott Harris even made a real trade? I think did Mark Canno, he was a trade, right?
I like that trade.
Well, yeah, that was a good trade. But besides that, he hasn't really made any trades to give us confidence.
How about that Eduardo Rodriguez fail of a trade?
Oh, well, yeah.
And this is a conversation for a different day, unless it goes there. The issues with the Tigers right now, I think, are like 10% Scott Harris. I think he's getting way too much heat. This is, a year and a half into the rebuild of a rebuild?
Yeah.
And in baseball, it takes long. It takes a long time. You're trying to re-philosophize the entire organization, like hitting philosophies, pitching philosophies, building it up from literally single A up to the major league level. And you still have major league players who are from the previous regime. So there's so many aspects of it. So I think it's about 10% Scott Harris's fault, 8% of which I blame on that failed trade.
Yeah.
Not that would make a massive difference this year, but that didn't go well. We don't know really how it fell apart, but the fact they didn't walk away from Eduardo Rodriguez getting anything back, especially catcher Will Smith or their top catching prospect, Dalton Rushing. Those are the 2 guys that were rumored we want, and those would have been probably our starting catchers. Either one would probably be our starting catcher on opening day this year.
I keep feeling like this is more of an assessment year, and to what KG was saying, to the point you said about the Tigers still being in a position on paper to be within this division race in the AL Central, that to me is reason why you want to keep a Tarek Skubal and try and build out everything else around him that you need. If you're utilizing this year as an assessment season, especially with Chris Harris, he's not just here to kind of rebuild, but to also make sure that anything negative that Al Avila did to set this organization back, that those things are overcome too. So you got 2 different things going on, similar to the Pistons as well. You have to undo what's been done, and then you have to try and move forward. And sometimes you just start from too far back, that you have to just take a year to say, you know what, we got some players here, we got some guys, we got some head honchos like Skubal. Let's see what else we have on this pitching staff. Let's see how these young players fare, and then move forward with, like you said, spending that money in the right place.
Because we got plenty of it.
Yep.
So
I want to piggyback off that because there's a couple years ago, this reminds me a lot of when Michael Fulmer was really popping off.
Yep.
And the issue with waiting a year is the fact that it's a pitcher. You never know what's going to happen. And his value is at an all-time high. He's got 2 years of arbitration. We can get a lot of prospects back. So it definitely has to be explored. This is not a wild topic at all. There's a lot of stuff in chat right now. This has to be discussed because this team is far. We need multiple bats. We need a couple more. We probably need a couple more bullpen arms. Even though our bullpen's amazing, it's finding its level.
Yeah.
We're still relatively far away because the end goal is a championship. Like the division is great. Winning division is great, but I'm not trying to go into the first round just to get whooped by Texas.
Right.
We aren't going to beat a team like Texas in the playoffs. Not how this roster is currently constructed.
But that would say our timeline is further down the road. And then when you look at, we like what we see from Reese Olson. We like what we see from Casey Mize. They seem to be improving, but nobody has really taken up that second ace spot. Like maybe if one of those guys were more solidified, I would be more comfortable with trading Skubal at this point. But as of right now, we're still waiting on somebody else to be a dominant force in that pitching rotation. It seems like it's Reese Olson. Also,
Flaherty is pitching well.
Flaherty is pitching well, but he's
been a great surprise.
He's an older vet. That's probably. I'm just thinking in terms of people that'll be on your team going forward in the future. And Reese Olson is showing a lot of promise. Although he doesn't have wins, he has the ERA and everything else to back it up. So maybe I would maybe just wait to see if one of those guys can step up and maybe take that Terrence Skubal role. That's all.
Yeah. When you look at how the Tigers did this thing back with Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, you go back to those years, they actually kept all their pitching talent, a lot of their pitching talent. You know, I know that Dave Dombrowski did a lot of shrewd moves that kind of left the minor leagues bare, I guess the coverage bare for a little bit, but he was able to go and kind of strategically pick out some bats to add to this line, some position players to add to this lineup. And I do believe that when you look at this Detroit Tigers team at the juncture they're at right now, when you talk about how strong the pitching is and can be, it worries me a little bit when we do talk about trading a Tarik Skubal, but I do understand the conversation.
Yeah. That's the thing. I don't want to trade Tarik Skubal. He's arguably my channel pause. I'm a fan for the next 3 seconds. Arguably one of my favorite pitchers.
He's the reason you come to Comerica at this point.
100%. And just a slight pushback on you, Justin, a little bit, because I think with a guy like Tarik Skubal, Reese Olson, Casey Mize, Jack Flaherty, you can do in a best of 5 series in the playoffs. A pitching rotation does matter. You can win games 1-0. There are a lot of 1 and 2 nothing
the
games.
Old Tigers A series.
Yeah. So to move him, you would want to upgrade your team now and in the future. Not to say that's not possible, but there are a lot of things have to fall in place for that to happen. If you want to improve the offense today, you got to go get a major league bat or 2.
Yeah.
But you don't want to just give Tarik Skubal away and mortgage your future and not get anybody for the future.
Right.
So you're going to need to get a combination of prospects, arms, and major league hitters. I wouldn't do it, but I understand the thought. And I think maybe next week, and I thought about including it in this conversation. It probably would have gone too long, but similar conversation for Cade Cunningham. Like the star who you could probably get the biggest haul for at this moment. Are you ready to move on? Are you ready to not give up on the player, but use your best asset to better start over again?
Yeah.
It's not a fun conversation. I wish I had, and you guys know I know Feder. I didn't get this information from him, but it would be awesome if a guy like Feder could, hey, you ship him out as a rental for half a year, knowing Skubal is going to come back and sign long-term with the team in 2 months after the deadline. That would be best case scenario.
Yeah,
I don't know if that will happen.
You know, Matthew Kruger and I, we have this kind of back and forth on our chat relationship. There's some things he agrees with.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of things he don't agree with, but this one I think we're kind of in lockstep. We're one guy in our starting 5 pitching rotation away from being dominant. You don't mix that up and trade away your ace. That's crazy. And that's where my mind was going as it related to, you think about how the Detroit Tigers that were dominant in these playoffs about, a decade ago now?
10, 12 years ago?
Yeah.
2008?
That's how they did this thing. They built from, this pitching staff that they really built in-house. and they built everything else around that. I feel like this Detroit Tigers team is on the cusp of being able to do that as well.
Yeah.
When you talk about how talented a pitcher Skubal is, Reese Olson and the rest of the staff, you go to the bullpen and whatnot. I like it.
I'd almost say I'm with you too on Kruger. You're my boy. We agree and we disagree on some things. I'd almost say the bigger issue is the offense. Like I think because you have 5 solid starters, 6 including Matt Manning, who's in AAA. He's actually pitching this weekend because Maeda's on the injury list. You got depth at the pitching rotation, so they've been dominant. You just haven't been able to score enough runs to win these games. So what are you going to sacrifice? Your best pitcher for the future and some bats? Or to me, I don't think they're ready yet.
Yeah, they're not.
They're not. Like we talked yesterday, just below my expectations of a game or two above 500. They're a game below now, and it's annoying. It's frustrating because their pitching has been so good, but
the timeline ain't there yet.
Yeah,
I would just wait to maybe after the season, or like I said, if you're really desperate, try and get in the trade market. But I wouldn't trade Skubal though. I would maybe cash considerations. We got farm system talent. Let's see what we can do with that.
Just take time to assess this season.
And I think, and I agree with you. I think the chat is on board with that too. Out of 59 votes, we have 50. Out of 59 votes, 59%. I guess 60 votes now. 60% a no. Yeah. 17% yes. 23% I'll think about it.
Which was actually pretty surprising for me.
Yeah. I don't think anybody wants to trade Skubal, but it's the thought of what you could get back. Could that speed up this rebuild part 2?
Maybe.
Well, when we get back, speaking of a rebuild part 2, Jared Goff rebuilt his second team here in Detroit.
Damn right.
That's right. His second team that he led back to a division title after missing the playoffs for 10 straight years. We're going to talk a little bit about Jared Goff. He had his press conference yesterday, officially signed on the dotted line.
Let's go.
Yeah, you can't talk about our hometown, our starting quarterback too much here. Let's do it.
Jared Goff.
I think these contracts, by the way, these QB contracts are getting higher and higher.
They're getting higher and higher.
Kind of like Dispo Dispensary. You can visit them today for deals too good to miss. They got a team that curates an unbelievable atmosphere and shopping experience. Try the freshest inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products. Come through their stores or order them on Dispo Dash today. That's Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Clothes, then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends, impress your boss, impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
To any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Planet Fitness is home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals.
Even
at Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes. All memberships include fitness training too. You guys, you get this for $10 a month, just $10. No commitment, no matter where you are. There is a Planet Fitness near you. There's 50 open in Metro Detroit and thousands more around the country. So check them out, Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
What up, though, people?
Tarek.
Welcome.
Please, don't say his name like that.
Please.
Please,
You
no.
got me.
I had to switch his picture after that.
Oh,
you were
man.
saying.
Continue.
Oh, see. What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys kicking off the morning with the Woo Crew. Smash that like button to support. We appreciate it greatly. It helps us, gets the stream out there into the algorithm. We can have better conversation as well. Hey, you said we got triple T's, Pete?
We do.
Hey, let's
PD.
watch. Pay-per-view, Pete.
You are on Wake Up Woodward, bro. What is going on with you?
What's going on, brothers?
Hey,
What's
Pete,
up,
what up,
Pete?
though?
Wait, is this Pete Spivak?
All right.
No.
Triple T, baby. Triple T.
Triple T's, baby.
Hey, Triple T, Dr. City Tuesday. I want a mug with that, okay? I want TTT with a mug.
If you guys understood him, let it fly.
We might have lost him.
Okay, hey, listen. I would not trade any of the pitchers.
You would not trade the
I'm right
pitchers.
here. Can you hear me?
Yep.
I would not trade any of the pitchers. I would try like a JD Martinez.
You're trying to get JD Martinez.
Yeah.
Can you tell me why?
He's a good hitter, and plus we get to keep our rotation intact.
Fair. So who would you give up in a trade for JD Martinez? Because he'd be a DH, and that'd be the only spot you'd be able to play him.
Do I have to give up anybody?
Yeah, I think so.
Boy, I would like to... Matt Manning, bye-bye.
Matt Manning, goodbye.
No, hey, one of the 6 starters, if you're making a trade, they're probably someone you have to give up. I personally am not trading one of those 6 starters. And Pete, we really appreciate your call. We're going to talk about this here for a minute. Yeah. I wouldn't trade one of those 6 starters for a bat like JD Martinez. Like, that's, if you were going to bring him in, you should have signed him. Yeah. I don't like the fit just because he really is only a DH right now. He does bring a veteran mind, a veteran experience to the team, to the locker room, which with this team would be great. But you see all this stuff, whether you agree with it or not, you see all the moves that AJ Hinch makes using the DH position, whether it's Riley Green, whether it's Mark Canha, whether it's Kerry Carpenter. He likes having that flexibility and giving these guys this opportunity to prove if they're going to be a part of the Tigers' future in the future.
Yeah, and you know, when we talk about the Tigers' future as well, there may be players we like today, but are those going to be players that we like 2 years from now, 3 years from now? And that's why I like the idea of an assessment right now. If you have the nucleus to compete within your division, that means that you have the recipe to make the playoffs. Figure out what you need to be able to bolster that down the road. And that might be a different player than JD Martinez today. That might be, who do you want 3 years from now? Is it JD Martinez?
No.
Or is it who do you think might be even provide more financial flexibility for you as you're talking about filling out this roster?
Yeah, I want Luis Arias, but he's already been taken. Yeah. And I'm not as worried as much about the financial flexibility. They're below the average spend. They can spend money. I'm worried about this team developing. And I'm not necessarily defending 100% of how it's going, but I would rather take bets on developing the young talent than just bringing in guys for the next 2 years to get to the next spot. Obviously, it can be explained to me where it makes sense. Like, Mark Canha is a very strategic trade acquisition. Only a 1-year contract. He's brought in for a specific reason to help these young hitters have professional at-bats, understand the strike zone better, really get their discipline in their at-bats down. So I'm not with it.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Yeah. Jared Goff is with it, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, should we get into golf or take one more talk? Jared Goff, we're getting to one more caller.
Yeah, we got 2 more callers, 2 good callers. So
do you know what they're talking about?
I believe Tigers, because that was the only thing we were talking about before that. Matthew Kruger, we got Matthew Kruger on. What's up, bro? You on Wake Up Woodward?
Hey, Matthew Kruger, what up, though?
Yo, what's up? Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Loud and clear.
Sweet. All right, I got 3 points here real quick. First one. Oh, shit, what's his fucking name? $212 million back in, 2013, 2014. They lost Max Scherzer.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to do that with Eric Struble. Same thing with Michael Lorenzen and Kyle Fulmer. Michael Lorenzen left, and he had a no-hitter, 10 games later? People leave Detroit, and they go win championships. Point 2, well, you know what? Point 1, we got to pay the man. Pay him for 6 or 7 years. Pay him his money. We always want to pay Lions players. We always want to say, pay that man his money, but we always want to ship out Tigers players that become superstars. Second point, we are going to be buyers at the trade deadline because Houston's going to be 35 games under 500, and we're going to pick up JV, man. We're going to bring him home to Detroit. He's going to be our fifth.
Kruger, I can get down with this.
Starter. We're going to make the playoffs. And I think we need to just eat Bias's contract, release him, because he's just a cancer to the clubhouse right now, man. He's not encouraging anybody. Anybody. I don't care if we put McKinstry or who the fuck. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear.
You're good, Krugs.
But, all right. Anyways, I lost my other point, man. Go Tigers. It's only like 50 games in, 40 games in right now. I ain't worried about it. Until we're like 10 games back and 20 games out of first, I'm not worried. Oh, yeah, third point. Let's re-sign Mark Canha, man. Mark Canha is fucking great. And by the way, as much as I love the heavyweights, you guys, while you're on hold with the heavyweights, you can't hear what the hell they're saying. You guys, you can hear everything, man. You guys are on point today. Let's go Tigers. Screw the ticket. And
Krugs, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, shout out, man. Appreciate it,
bro.
man.
That was awesome. For whatever reason, like I felt like I was disagreeing with him in the chat, but I think I agree with all 3 points he brought up.
Yeah.
Best case, if they could get Scooble into a team-friendly contract before he hits arbitration, before he hits free agency, hey, I'm down with that.
It's the smart move.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
I think there is still the conversation of the haul you could get for him worth thinking about, talking about, but if you can get him signed long-term, I'm cool with that too. His second point, Lorenzen and Fulmer and Scherzer. Fister, I'm trying to remember exactly what point
Shout out
he was trying to make, but I agreed with it. And Mark Canha, bring him back for another year. He's getting up there in age, but he seems like a player coach out there. Like, you know, he doesn't have to play every day.
And he has the best discipline on the team, hands down.
Far.
Hands down.
By far. I give a lot of credit to Mark Canha. Riley Green's plate discipline, leading the league in walks or walk percentage. I think that has a lot to do with it. A lot to do with this. So we got one more call. Might as well take this. We're talking Tigers. We'll get into Jared Goff next segment.
Yep, and it's our guy Devin the dog, man.
Let's go,
Inkster's finest in the building. What's up, Devin?
Friday
What's
Inkster.
up, gang?
What up?
It's the TD Friday.
You know what it is.
What's up, gang? What's up, gang? Hey, man, you know one thing that warms my heart is seeing Jared Goff kind of come to tears in that conference because, like, you can really tell that the Detroit has embraced him to the extent that he doesn't want to leave. And that's just beyond beautiful to finally see, like, someone that's, like, almost in tears that they want to be in Detroit. Bro, we've been the dog of every sports joke for years. But to see see a little white boy cry to say he want to be in Detroit, that's a blessing in the most disguise that you could ever say. Because, like, bro, us just going up from here, man, this shit, it makes me, like, nervous, happy, all the emotions all aside. Like, I feel like Kool-Aid with a freaking bat every fucking morning just thinking about the season, man. Like, I know everybody in the group chat is feeling the same because it's just like, how are we going to prepare ourselves for the heartbreak? How are we going to prepare ourselves for the headaches, the good times, the bad times? Oh, wait, I forgot. We got the Wake Up Morning crew in the morning to set us off right, to do it right. Hey, but no, I appreciate you guys, man. Kool-Aid, love you, man. Look, the last time I called, I took shots, but you know I love you, man. I appreciate you reaching back out, man. All blessings to the family as well. Brother, we got to get you a girl soon, man, so you can go to Lions games twice double.
You know what, Devin? Let's take him to some courts out in Inkster, man.
You don't want to see me balling on the court.
Oh, no.
Don't mess around and get a triple-double.
No. We're going to have to start off in Canton. We can't
start off in Canton.
Hey, you know what? Lindsay from Canton is out there, so that might be the double dip right there.
You know, my vertical raises about 7 inches after that.
Okay.
Vertical! Vertical, my jumping ability.
Hey, bro, at that point, you light skin, my dude. Dark skin is about 9 to 10. About 9 to 10.
You're right.
We're going to give you the light skin blood.
Hey, educated, man.
Light skin blood. We going to get him. We're going to get him hooked up. And my last point, man, just, KG,
What up?
I heard your take on the Kendrick and the Drake beef. All that crap started back in 2009. I'm going to give you some culture wakes. Look it up. It started on that first tour, on Kendrick Lamar's first tour.
Okay.
Kendrick Lamar been a battle rapper for 10 years prior, like 5 years prior before that.
Yeah.
With J-Rock and everything. Bro, Drake been hating since the Grassy days.
Damn, really?
Wayne wanted him over Drake.
Really?
Wayne wanted Kendrick over Drake. Wayne wanted Kendrick over Drake. You remember the Hood Still Love It song that was on 106 & Park back in the day?
Yeah.
Yep. That was the song that almost got Kendrick signed to Cash Money. And
Wow.
Top did not want that to happen. And Drake saw that as a full nod to send his ass back to the Grassy.
Wow.
But that's all I got for the Black Culture today. Black Culture dropped for the day. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate it, bro. I'm going to look into that, too.
Shout out to you, Devin the dog. We appreciate the call. We got to get to break.
Appreciate you, brother. It's the perfect call segue as well.
Yeah.
You know, because I know we wanted to be able to talk Jared Goff. Devin brought up Jared Goff, the dedication he's had, the desire to want to be here, really being like cocky and confident about it too.
Oh yeah.
I know I'm gonna be here for a while.
Yeah.
He said that months ago, man. You talk about an organization that has called its shots, and now the players are calling their shots too. That's why I love so much of hearing Amon-Ra St. Brown talking about we're going to the Super Bowl. Aiden Hutchinson, Penei Sewell.
Everybody is saying
everybody.
It. Literally everybody.
As they should.
Yeah.
As they should. That's the goal. That's They got a team built to make a Super Bowl run. Let's go freaking do it.
Damn right, man.
You know what? I love the team that we have here at Woodward Sports.
Go.
Man. Shout out to Wake Up Woodward crew and the chat family as always, guys. We appreciate you guys for supporting us every day, Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. But after us, you guys already know we got a full lineup of great shows, great hosts, great personalities, and Detroit sports coverage. Starting with Big D Energy, 11 to 1. Four-time Stanley Cup champion winner and guardian and defender of Detroit, Darren McCarty, alongside his co-host, Neil Rule, the Golden Voice. Then you got Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, 2 to 4 every day. The lovable radio legend, Tom Mazaway, alongside University of Michigan legend and former NFL wide receiver Brandon Edwards and Detroit media king, Ryan Ermanni. Then, you end the day with Woodward Heavyweights from 5 to 7. The big fellas are bringing you the biggest interviews, the biggest breakdowns, the biggest laughs. Shout out to Spinny, shout out to Easy, Chris Platty, Nick Koloff. They got a solid crew. But most importantly, thank you to you all for making Woodward Sports your #1 digital sports network. Let's take this thing to the moon. Appreciate you guys.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that, hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
The new glorious ice water bubble hash pre-roll now has diamonds in it, everybody. Look, they are constantly pushing to create the best cannabis experience just for you. The perfect boost comes from the added touch of pure THC diamond dust, allowing flowers with only the highest terps, making the best, hey, even better. Glorious Cannabis. Check them out at your local retailer, or you can always check them out online at gloriouscanna.com.
Let's go. What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. Go ahead and smash that like button if you have. Encourage somebody else to do the same. We had some pretty good calls, man. Some pretty good calls.
Yeah, fantastic. We got a great chat.
Yeah.
We got great
got
callers.
a great chat. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. You know what? Let's get into this Jared Goff conversation as well. He had his press conference, signed that contract officially.
He did.
Let's rock.
He did. I'm going to blow through those press conference clips. Maybe we'll show them later in the show. But there's another former MVP who had some words to say about Jared Goff, Cam Newton. If you remember, Cam Newton, there's some clips that went viral of him calling the game manager.
Yeah.
And again, they were shorts or Instagram reels or something where it only cut off part of the conversation. It seemed like he was taking a jab at Jared Goff. But Cam Newton, on his podcast, the 4th and 1 podcast, he says Jared Goff is for sure worth the bag. Check out this clip.
Yep.
It's well deserved, though.
For sure.
I listen, Detroit, y'all get my blessing. Not that y'all cared anyway, but I'm gonna let y'all motherfuckers know something anyway. Because this is why I respect Jared Goff. Because I've said it many times. Even when I called him a game manager, okay?
Which is not a bad thing.
It is not a bad connotation to
style
who
of play
that person is, okay? He went, he was shipped, he was migrated to Detroit to die.
Mm-hmm.
Respectfully.
They threw him to the pack, came back leading it.
Came back leading the prize. You dig what I'm saying? What he's been able to do in Detroit is something that no quarterback has ever been able to do. And I say that respectfully. So, yeah, man, well-deserved.
So he's definitely worth the bag.
Yes.
He's worth the bag.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. For shit show. Like.
So from a player perspective, question for you. When you sign a big deal like this, is it more pressure on you to perform?
I clipped it, so there. But hey, there you go.
Yeah.
He migrated to Detroit.
Migrated.
And you know what? When he got kind of in that controversy of the game manager quarterback thing, the full clip and then the further clarification provided, he said, whoa, I'm not taking shots at these guys. I think these guys are talented guys. These are the ones you want the ball in their hands because you know managing the game and all of the different outcomes, all of the different pressure situations, the schemes, overcoming what the other team is going to do to try and slow you down. He said you want the ball in that quarterback's hand, and he did say that Jared Goff is a good quarterback. So this isn't him kind of like changing his stance. This isn't him trying to get in front of something that the Lions have had some success. Cam Newton, and I said it when kind of the whole controversy went, I was like, you know what? I actually rock with the conversation that he's having about Jared Goff and some other quarterback.
Yeah, bringing publicity to him, bringing Jared Goff's name into the national media, and I'm glad he doubled down on game manager is not a bad thing.
Yeah,
it gets overlooked because there's so many talented quarterbacks, has so many skills that Jared Goff doesn't have, the mobility and whatnot. But being a game manager is also a skill. The stuff between your ears and your head, like being able to manage an offense. And we say this Lions team has all these superstars. They're all first, second, and third year players. And yes, they are superstars. Don't get me wrong. But Jared Goff is part of that too. He's got to get them the ball. He's got to manage that offense, make sure they get it in the right places so that offense can fire on all cylinders, which it has for the last 2 seasons. KG, do you have a problem with the game manager tag?
Absolutely not. Because, I mean, it is what it is, man. Like you said, it maybe back in the day it was more of a negative connotation, but in this day and age, it's not really that because it's not that many elite quarterbacks. That's what we need to realize. Mahomes is in a tier all his own, and then everybody else is pretty much the same. You can bring up a name. Jared Goff has more playoff wins than probably all of them, and that's just being real, man. And it's not a bad thing. Of course, you want your quarterback to be surrounded by talent. Any smart organization is going to do that. So, to me, it's a stupid little name for a quarterback, game manager, but it works.
Yeah, and the game manager conversation, it's one where I think it's based on definition. Before we said that a game manager was a quarterback who just didn't hurt you. Cam Newton didn't quite make that the case or the definition for what a game manager is.
In that first clip? Yeah.
Right. His definition of what a game manager is really a top 12 quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's not the traditional way that when we were growing up and we heard game manager or the Lions got a game manager.
Dump downs.
It was just dump downs, playing it safe. That's not what Cam Newton was saying. And so it's like his definition of a game manager, I completely 100% agree with it. And that's why he's saying that Jared Goff is worth his bag.
You can make that argument for all quarterbacks are game managers. You have to manage a game as a quarterback.
It's a job.
That's part of the job description.
Yeah. And JB, after this next video, I'm going to ask you about Jared Goff. But another former NFL player, James Jones, played wide receiver on several different teams, including the Green Bay Packers with Aaron Rodgers. On his show on FS1 Speak, he has these conversations with Maurice Jones-Drew and other talented NFL players. He says this is a conversation that started about what happens to the other quarterbacks in the league now that Jared Goff has gotten his bag, his contract extension. And he has something to say about Dak Prescott before he started to rant in about what makes Jared Goff so special.
I think Dak Prescott should get
What?
He should get Kirk Cousins money. I don't think he's in the ballpark that Jared Goff is. And what I mean by that is when people talk about James Jones, they'll bring up stats. They never go to wins because that's not a receiver stat.
There you go.
That's not a running back stat. That is a quarterback stat.
There you go.
Right? So when you talk about Jared Goff just took a team that has not been to the playoffs in 32 years.
32 years? I know it was that long. I thought it was 20
And
years.
he took them to the NFC Championship game. He was the #1 overall pick to the Rams. That means what? You're the worst team in football. And he took them to the Super Bowl. He showed you that I'm capable of taking any organization. That's what he showed us. I'm capable of taking any organization deep into the playoffs and to a Super Bowl. That's what I'm capable of.
I mean,
don't listen to me. Listen to James Jones.
He said it all, right? He said it all.
He
said
proved
it
it.
all. You know what? And it's cool, too, because Cam Newton said some things that we've been saying about Jared Goff and his team and his organization. We're starting to hear the national narrative because who wants to be wrong?
Nobody.
Who wants to be right. And when you start to line up all of the shots that's been called, you know, shout out to Patrick as well. I went on Patrick's happy hour.
Patrick Ruck.
Yep, and he gave you a lot of love too, man. It's cool that you went to support the platform as well. And it is so interesting to hear these people and hear all the different narratives about Jared Goff. And what came up on his podcast last night was similar conversation to how the national narrative is changing because of how guys like Dan Campbell, he said it. First year is going to be rough. Second year, we're going to show you that we can win. Third year, we're winning. They did that, man. And so the national outlets, all the national media, what are they going to do? Sit around and willingly have egg on their face? This is year 3 now, and they're heading into year 4 after what I believe to be a very successful offseason between free agency and the draft, as well as players that are going to step up and take the next step in their careers, like Amon-Ra and Penei Sewell. Listen, I think you're going to find fewer and fewer people trying to do the whole clickbait thing with the Detroit Lions because that's just going to leave you looking silly in the end.
Yeah, and think of the two different types of players we heard it from. You couldn't find a more different style of quarterback than Cam Newton, and a more opinionated quarterback. If there's something bad to say or something to pick apart, he'll say it. Yeah. And you have a wide receiver who played with a Hall of Fame quarterback and was on a rival of the Detroit Lions. So you're getting it from all aspects. JB, we'll get back into this conversation after I reveal something large on the table. But JB, I want to ask you.
Keep that thing away.
Do you think this is a much bigger conversation, but do you think quarterback wins are a stat or wins should be associated with the quarterback in some way? It's a polarizing one.
Yes and no. I think yes, because they're obviously going to think about it in that sense, just because they want the ball in their hands. They're basically taking the game in their hands to win this game for the whole entire team. But I don't think that's something that really should exist because, I mean, this game is a team effort all around. But, as a quarterback, they're going to take that upon themselves, and they probably get a little bit down on themselves here and there. But obviously there's nothing you can do about that. This is probably going to be a PFF stat, probably a Flannel Sam stat that he brings up now and then here and there. But, I mean, I don't look at it because football is a team effort.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it is. But if you have a winning quarterback, more times than not, you're in the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. Yes.
It's losing quarterbacks, you're nowhere near it. So I'm just saying, it should count to me at least.
to me, it does factor into the equation. I think of any position in team sports, the quarterback should get some of the credit for that, or have that be a positive or negative. And when we get into this big mock, you're going to see there are some quarterbacks, and probably going to be the most controversial, that are more talented than people higher on the list, but they haven't proved they can win.
Exactly.
And at some point in their career, some sample size, whatever metric you have, I have something different. I'm sure they haven't shown they won yet. So I got to factor that you could have the biggest arm possible. If you can't win, how good of a quarterback are you?
Exactly.
So we'll talk about that
There
when
you
we
go.
get back. I wonder where you guys think Jared Goff is on my list.
You know what Rake said? It is, shout out to Rake in the chat, man. He said it is Flop It Out Friday for Broder.
No.
Flop it out.
Flop it out.
Yo.
You know what? I think Jared Goff is awesome, and I can tell you about something else that's awesome. Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut.
Word.
That happens at Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Even if you don't got no hair, they can shape you up, man, and make sure that you're looking your best. All you got to do is stop in, sit back, relax, and let one of Lady Jane's talented hairstylists make you look and feel great walking anytime, 7 days a week. Where? Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians they'll take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. It's 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night. Know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone with you as long as needed. Why? Because it is technology backed by people. And your safety and security, it deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT. Once again, that number is 1-800-STAY-OUT. Stay out. What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys choosing to kick off the day with a whole tired crew.
Boom.
Calls have been good. The chat has been on one. Word to Eduardo O'Neal. And the content has been great. You're standing up, man. Whoa.
I don't know where this is going.
Where is this going?
Wait.
Oh, snap.
I'm just stretching out here a little bit.
Stretching out?
Lewis stance.
Oh my God!
How does he do it?
Flop it out Friday. We got a big mock rebuild
He
today.
ready to unzip.
Need to stand up to get the blood flowing in the right spots.
You should have been like The Rock, like, whoa, easy fella, easy big fella.
Whoa there.
Easy,
Whoa
big
there.
fella. Easy.
Or like Rasheed Wallace and just wrap it around your waist.
What? What?
It was a rumor.
It's a rumor. What rumors is you listening to?
The Friday show has just started, ladies and
It's 9 o'clock.
gentlemen.
It's 9 o'clock, baby.
Let's go. You know what?
Let's do it.
Whip it out.
All right, this is my top 10 quarterback list. And I know we're going to have something to talk about already at number 10. But let me preface this because I think every list should have some criteria. And it's almost impossible to like pick the perfect criteria of what you define best. So there is a little bit of everything. I included, and I'll have to explain them. I included the resume. I included potential. I also have some
recency
I'll explain
bias
everything as we go by, but it's a little bit of everything. We're all going to disagree. So let me know how crazy I am. But at number 10, and we're going to get right into the conversation. I have this young quarterback going into his second year out in Houston.
CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud at number 10. And you see the next up, in no particular order, I got Jordan Love, Tua Tagovailoa, Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers, Trevor Lawrence, and Dak Prescott. So I'll start this real quick before, let's have a quick CJ Stroud conversation. Stroud, Jordan Love, and I'm even going to throw Aaron Rodgers into this mix. They're the three that I think have the best chance to make the biggest jump on this list once I see 4, 5, 6 games.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud has all the talent in the world. I mean, he had a special rookie year. He's got top 5 potential. If he shows that he keeps building on last year, even if he just does what he did last year, he's a top 5 quarterback. He's got that talent. Jordan Love, I think, is that next step right below that.
Yes.
Has all the talent in the world, can make just about every throw on the field, showed the flashes at the end of last season. If he shows me again that he can be that special, he's also a top 5 type quarterback. And Aaron Rodgers, I've seen more bad football in the last 2-3 years than good on top of the injury.
How that knee doing?
While I should have prefaced with the list too, I'm considering all these guys healthy as we go through this list. But Aaron Rodgers did miss the entire season last year, so I am factoring that in a little bit. He's coming back from an injury. He's old, and I haven't seen him play Aaron Rodgers football in a couple of years. So if he shows me he's back and is healthy, and he's Aaron Rodgers, he can make a quick jump back up too. So real quick, CJ Stroud, am I crazy for having him 10? Is that too low to you guys?
It's a tad low, but I need to see who you got above him.
Yeah. Chat, is that too low?
I do understand what your explanation as well.
Yeah. Am I crazy, chat? Yeah, I'm salty too low?
Yes, you're definitely crazy.
Where would you have him top 5 already?
Yes. We'll get into it later.
Oh, wow.
I'll save it.
I don't think you're crazy.
Top 5 already?
No, give it to me now. Don't talk about other quarterbacks. I mean, you can reference other quarterbacks, but just give it to me now.
Pure thrower. Just a pure thrower.
True.
He can make every throw.
Facts.
The pressure that they said he couldn't handle when he was at Ohio State, he could handle it in the NFL. And I really think he looks so much more comfortable and in control than a lot of the quarterbacks I believe are going to be higher on your list.
It's true.
And I think if you put me in a situation, same rosters, it's just quarterback versus quarterback, I'd take CJ Stroud over, I bet 5 people on this list.
If you're talking potential Kool-Aid, like if you were drafting today on potential and maybe who you want to build around for your future, CJ Stroud is arguably maybe number 2 on the list.
He is, but we also need to see another year. I understand he had probably the greatest quarterback rookie season we've ever seen, but we need to see another year. The second year sophomore slump is a real thing. These teams, they get more tape on you. Yep. They game plan for you more. We need to see what he does with a target on his back, but he has that top 5 ability, so yes. I will give you that.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say as well. Look at how defenses will respond and react to what he's put out there on tape, to be able to take away what he likes to do and put him in really more uncomfortable situations. Yeah, that's what I want to see him do, and that's why I like your explanation of, you put him at 10, but out of any other quarterback that's going to be in your top 10, he probably has the opportunity to jump the most spots in this top 10 list.
Yeah, I thought putting him at 10 is a sign of respect the way I'm looking at this.
Yeah.
He has superstar potential. So we'll see how that turns out. Speaking of superstar potential that we haven't seen come to fruition yet, Justin Herbert at number 9.
Okay.
Los Angeles Chargers, Justin Herbert. He's got that special talent, that special arm. We've had a sample size now, 4 seasons, 62 games.
And ain't won a damn thing.
32, and he's had playoff issues. He, too, can make every throw on the field, and he's your prototypical perfect quarterback. But because I've seen enough sample size, and he has regressed these last 2 years combined with injury, I couldn't put him higher.
Yeah.
I get, again, potential and whatnot, he's probably a top 4 quarterback. But I've seen a 30-32 career record.
I'm not mad at this at all because I've been screaming this since probably the beginning of last year. A lot of people say I'm crazy. I know that the heavyweights gave me some pushback. They're big Justin Herbert people, but it's not that I don't believe in his ability, but just he has not provided us the wins to go with it. And we, like you said, we've seen him in playoff situations. He's had a good roster. You can argue that he's had one of the better rosters in the NFL, especially receiving core wise, and he hasn't done it yet. So I understand he's had the coaching carousel. He had a really bad coach the last few years, but I just need to see more from Justin Herbert. I think you got him at a pretty prime spot. I would maybe put him maybe 8, if anything,
Fair.
if any higher. But
fair. Speaking of number 8, JB, this is a young quarterback. Again, I struggled where to put him too, but Brock Purdy of the 49ers. He's got a great situation around him. I put him in a Goff type quarterback category. He does have a little bit more mobility. I like Brock Purdy's game. I was struggling. I almost had him as the number 3 quarterback in the NFC on this list, but I got Purdy, who has a 17-4 career record. Like, he's got to prove a little more to me too, but for 2 seasons, he's found himself in 2 deep playoff runs.
Yeah.
That means something to me. I like him, and I like him in San Francisco. The situation matters. Any problems with Purdy at 8?
No, and I think it's similar to the Jared Goff conversation. It's a quarterback that continues to put his team in position to win.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to value that.
Dubs. That's why I kind of wanted to get into this conversation after that. How much do you value wins out of a quarterback? Because we all have a little bit different opinion on that. But for some of these guys, I'm factoring it in.
Yeah, and more so than just the win-loss record of a quarterback, I factor how a team responds to a quarterback. I factor in how the defense is speaking about the quarterback. When you hear them in their different podcasts and interviews, I'm listening to what the offensive room is saying about this quarterback, and I'm looking at how this team is responding to him. Jared Goff, we know that Penei Sewell and Aiden Hutchinson are going to give you some of the most epic pregame speeches ever. But seeing Jared Goff, some of his, I was like, you know what? This guy has complete command of this team, and this team follows him like a soldier, like into battle.
Yes.
That's what I absolutely love about Jared Goff. And I think, when you look at the success of the 49ers with Brock Purdy, it's very, very similar.
Yeah. This next quarterback on the list, also in the NFC, needs to prove to me that he can reinvigorate the team that he's the quarterback for. I like what they've done this offseason, but at number 6, I got Jalen Hurts of the Eagles.
7.
His resume is already special. And he's got some maybe accuracy issues on the deep ball. He's got a great cast of around him, but he does have special qualities, man. Like, I think he's closer to Josh Allen than he is to Dak Prescott with his ability to run, with his ability to lead. It all fell apart yet last year. Team kind of quit on him and the coaches and the coordinators. Kind of an ugly situation, but he's still 34-17 in his career, 2 Pro Bowls, 1 All-Pro. I worry about him in the future. He does rely on his legs a lot, but he's dealing with a nagging knee injury. So how much do you factor that into? That's part of his game. If he doesn't have his legs, how good can he be? But if he's healthy, like I said, he's closer in my mind to a Josh Allen type than a Dak Prescott.
That tush push is going to push him into the ground.
Yeah,
if they keep utilizing that wear and tear on Jalen Hurts, man, it's not going to be good. I also look at the situation. They didn't necessarily believe in Jalen Hurts at first. They invested in him a little bit. You saw the success, and now they're at a point where I don't know if they still trust him again. So, but I do like the ability. I would like to. I don't know. We haven't seen Jalen Hurts outside of the Eagles, so I don't necessarily know if this is just him or maybe the system. I hate to argue that, especially when we talk about Jared Goff and the system matters and all that, but 7 is an appropriate spot for him.
See, some people have him at 10. Some people have him at 3. Like, he's a perennial. We'll talk about him in MVP conversation or have in the past every single season. To be determined this year. I want to see it again. He's got everything around him. What were you going to say, Kool-Aid?
No, I was going to say, did you want to reveal number 6 and we can talk about it and reveal the top 5 in the next segment?
Well, I want the chat to speculate on this because there's some big names out there that haven't been shown. I mean, there's no line on this list quite yet. When does he show up?
Let's see your top 6.
Yeah, let us know. Let me know in the chat either your top 6 or where do you think Jared Goff is going to land on this list? And we'll reveal 6 through 1 through 6. When we get back.
Let's rock. You know what? But you guys, we got to hear from Swiss Insurance first. Now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance will make sure your carrier is not slipping in extra fees or raising the deductibles. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today, 313-530-1698. Again, shout out to Flannel Sam, 313-530-1698. Or visit them online at www.swissins.com and let them know what was sports sent you.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media. By Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey guys, are you tired of wearing that same old Detroit sports merch? Look, let me tell you right now, it is a new era in sports wearables with new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Do yourself a favor, go to woodwardsports.com, click on that shop tab. We are dropping new designs every single week. But I got to tell you about these that we got on the screen for you right now, because you know Kool-Aid has at least 4 or 5 of these in his closet as well. The Welcome to Detroit t-shirts, the Tiger sweatshirts, they'll pick it up. I know they will. Just please don't start Scooble. Please don't. I just bought the jersey. Come on now. And you know we also got the Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes election t-shirt, hoodies, hats.
And we got the Boodum Kid shirt loading.
Boodum Kid shirts loading.
Man, let's go.
Now I got to get 2 or 3 of those though. But look, do yourself a favor. Go to woodwardsports.com, click on that shop tab. New designs dropping every single week. Boodum Kids.
Boodum Kids. What up, though? People, welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. JB, can we get that Detroit sign shirt? Can we get that design on a hat?
I'm sure you could, but why would you want?
You know, that might be my new hat for next year.
Oh,
let it fly, baby.
I might have to do
Why
that.
would you do that to your head?
Yeah, see why?
I might have to do that. Support the
I rock Old English
Woodward
tea.
shop and everything.
Yeah.
But hey, welcome back to Wake Up Woodward, people.
Wake up.
Smash that like button. Let them know, KG.
Wake up out of your sleep.
Let's go. It's time to reveal the rest of this mock. The last 6, huh?
Yes, the last 6. I have someone at number 6 whose special talents are between the ears. I think he's going to be a future coordinator, a future coach one day, which is part of the reason you shouldn't worry if some of the coaching staff leaves. So at number 6, I have the man himself, Jared Goff.
Hey, there's a lion.
Let's go, baby.
There's
Jared
a lion.
Goff, quarterback of the Detroit Lions, I had at number 6. I'm just going to actually just let you go. What do you think of this? What do you think of it at 6? Ahead of some of these guys, obviously we haven't seen some studs yet. We haven't seen Stafford yet.
Yeah.
But I have Goff at number 6. I'm factoring in the bringing back leading 2 teams to the playoffs.
Yep.
Leading the Rams to the Super Bowl and the Lions to the NFC conference, the NFC championship game. I'm factoring that all in, plus the stats. In his career, he's been near the top of the league, top 5 in many major passing stats. So combining that all, considering he just got this bag from Detroit, I think he's at number 6.
You talk about a guy that has the stats and the wins. We were just talking about this over break. We went through an era where we had the big arm, strong quarterback. You know what? He 2 years in a row had some season-ending injuries, still came back. We know how tough Matthew Stafford is. We know how talented he is. We know how good Megatron was. We know how good some of those defenses were, but they don't have too many wins or playoff success to write home about. When you look at Jared Goff, there is clearly an intangible there where there's a meeting of the two, the stats and the success of the overall team, and they put this thing together underneath Jared Goff. Obviously, we're not going to slight Brad Holmes, Campbell, and everybody else, but as it relates to the players, Jared Goff as his quarterback, there is something there, and I'm going to value the success that we've seen the Detroit Lions have, especially when we came through an era like big arm Matt Stafford, putting up all the stats, but not the W's.
And Goff's done a lot of winning than probably a lot of the quarterbacks on this list, but you said you're accounting everything. So if we have to include the physical aspect as well. I think this is appropriate. I think Goff at 6 is like the perfect number for me.
Awesome. I appreciate that. And Goff's going to be involved in the conversation as we move down this list here in the next 10 minutes. Because at number 5, and there's one thing that separates him, it's that ring, and it's Matthew Stafford of the Rams. He doesn't have the record across his career. This is the one. Stafford's an outlier to me too, because if he doesn't have that ring, he might be number 10, maybe number 9, maybe
not even in the top 10.
Maybe not. But he
outside.
has the arm talent, one of the best arms in NFL history.
Yeah,
I got to see him in the playoffs last year, really the final stretch of the year, because he has been battling injuries. So this is where if healthy, and if he keeps up where he left off last year, or just gets better with this improved, I think it's an improved Rams offense.
Yeah,
who knows if he has another level to get to, but because he has that ring with the special talents that are going to be associated with the number 2, 3, 4 on this list, I gotta factor in a Super Bowl ring into this conversation. He has all the intangibles. He didn't have the best record of the group, considering his career, but he has a Super Bowl ring. He got into a situation like Goff is in a good situation now. Stafford was in a good situation and made the most of it and led the Rams to a Super Bowl win. I'm giving him credit for that. That's why I have him at 5, above Goff, above Hurts, above Purdy, Herbert, and Stroud.
And another comment on Jared Goff as well as relates to this list. I like what Eric Allen said. It's not just the arm talent for Stafford, but how smart he is out there on the field. He's literally a second coach out there for his offense. You know what? I honestly would attribute that even to a Jared Goff as well. The way that he's gone out there and led this team. I love how he minimizes the mistakes as well. Obviously, there were some games where it happened in clusters, but overall, Jared Goff has minimized the mistakes. And one of the things that we have not had a lot of luck in, and I'm going to knock on wood right now, but we've had this type of luck with and success with Jared Goff. For some reason, he just doesn't get injured. He doesn't miss games. Obviously, we know he's going to take some bumps and some bruises, but he has not missed any games, and that has to be valued too.
So you're saying his lack of mobility and not scrambling out of the pocket and running into NFL linebackers and safeties and corners are keeping him healthy?
Maybe.
Yeah. You're saying it's a benefit that he's on the best offensive line in the league?
Maybe.
I mean, what are we doing here?
What are we doing?
What are we doing here? It's that ring. Stafford's got that ring. He deserves it to me. Let's get through these next 4. I'll be a little quicker because kind of outliers too. These next 3 are based almost solely on their special talents. Like that outweigh some of the issues they've had in the playoffs, not getting a ring. I think these next 3 have uniquely special talents that they have to be, in my opinion.
They affect games.
In the top 4, even though they haven't proved it all, even though Goff has won more big games. Number 4, I have Joe Burrow, who has some injury issues, but when he's on the field and he's playing, man, you can't doubt his arm. One of the biggest arms in the league, one of the most accurate arms in the league, both on short and long passes, and he has that crazy intangible it factor of just he's that dude.
Yeah,
he's that dude. I know that he's not a perfect quarterback, but he's close.
Yeah. I think he's still all time got more wins than against Mahomes, I believe. So
he's made a playoff run. You're right. I have Burrow. Burrow. The only flaw in his game is his health, which is a big issue to me. He's got that 4 seasons, 29-22-1 record, 68% completion percentage, which is one of the higher completion percentage on this list. 97 TDs to 37 interceptions, 1 Pro Bowl. It's the missed games. If he can stay healthy, when he's on the field, the Bengals are a team that can compete with anybody.
Big facts.
And at number 3, not my favorite quarterback, not a huge fan of his, but you can't deny his special and unique talents, is Josh Allen. The dude is a monster. He's actually huge and can run over anybody in the NFL, and he has a massive arm. Yeah. He's got turnover issues. He makes some dumb throws.
Yeah.
He has the capability to carry a team on his back. He's got that talent that puts him in the top tier. I can't put him at 8. It's to start a season. Maybe he drops off during the season, but we're going into this. I'm putting his talent and those unique abilities ahead of some of the wins, the intangible stuff that I love in a quarterback. He's too good.
He is this era's Brett Favre without the Super Bowl. Seriously. The way he lives and dies on some of these deep passes, he has
perfect.
His arm is absolutely crazy. He can throw any type of pass to anywhere, but the risks he takes, the chances he takes. Once again, a big part of his game is one, he's dealt with injury, and two, just the risks and the amount of chances he takes on some of his throws. But when he's making them, oh my God, watch out. Watch out.
It is. I'm going to get through the top 2 because I know you want to talk top 3 and all, and we'll finish off this conversation once we get through them. But at number 2, I have Lamar Jackson. Again, special traits, one of the best runners in NFL history from the quarterback position. Also an improved passer. Todd Monk in the OC last season committed to the pass from the start of the season to the end, and it really helped him. It's going to help him stay healthy. He choked again in the playoffs, which come on, Lamar.
Trust me.
You give it to him, like you gotta get over the hump. But man, 58-19 career record, 3 Pro Bowls, 2 All-Pros, 2 MVPs. The dude's an absolute stud. I don't care if he's a better runner than a thrower. You have him at the quarterback position, your team has a chance to win every single game you play.
Damn right.
And before, that's the number 1, Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes.
7 seasons, 74-22. Averages 296 passing yards per game, 219 touchdowns, 63 interceptions. 6 Pro Bowls, 3 All-Pros, 2 MVPs, 1 Offensive Player of the Year, 3 Super Bowls, and 3 Super Bowl MVPs. There's no one else who could be the number 1 quarterback on a top quarterback list. That's how you know, Dante, if someone is on drugs, if they have Patrick Mahomes not at number 1.
What a way to end that list, man.
Quarterback lit, like, this is all personal opinion, how you're looking at it at the time. It's going to change week 1 and 2 and 3. But as I was just sitting down to do this, and I hope I explained enough of why I put them in certain spots. This is my list, 1 through 10, tear it apart. I do want to hear the criticism or the reasons why.
Because it's not a potentials list to you, it's more of a power rankings list, correct? And you had some factors. For me personally, maybe the couple that, not tearing it apart, but the couple that I'd probably reverse, maybe Stroud and Herbert, and maybe Stafford and Goff, just because of recency bias with Goff beating Stafford in those playoffs.
True.
I definitely would. Now, I believe that as relates to putting your team in a better position to win without making that mistake, we literally saw it in that playoff game between the Lions and the Rams, where Goff was clean. Stafford he wasn't quite clean, even though he put up all those stats in that game. I personally, like I said, just based on recency bias, probably flip-flop Goff and Stafford.
Yeah.
I know people call me crazy for saying that Jared Goff is a top 5 quarterback.
I'm picking Goff if we're starting a team today at their ages and injury history. I'm going with Goff. But Stafford has all the talent and a ring. I couldn't not. I got to give him credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
You do.
Shout out Etienne if you're in there. I'm going to go to Justin. Jesus.
He's been waiting patiently.
You got some issues with the top of the list?
I have some issues with the entire list.
Look at that maniacal smile in his face.
Yeah, I've been sitting back here because I think that Lamar Jackson should be way lower on this list. Not even in the top 5. I value.
Let's hear why.
I value wins. I value making winning plays. I value how well you control your team. And the way I saw Lamar Jackson in that playoff game against the Chiefs, he had no control. He couldn't place a ball anywhere. He was throwing balls into the dirt. I don't value that. His MVPs is because he's electrifying, and he was on one of the best teams in football.
Because of him.
Because of him, yeah. But when it comes playoff times, teams will load the box. Teams will make him make throws outside the numbers that he can't consistently make, and it causes them to lose. Last year was the only one of my friends to take the Chiefs, and I gave him shit. That's some elite ball placement right there, all game. I would take Stroud over him.
9 wins.
Yeah. He still had more playoff wins.
1 year of Stroud, you will take over Lamar Jackson.
He's not had more playoff wins than Lamar.
Last year, they had the same amount.
Yeah, but Lamar's been doing it for...
Right. Lamar's
7 seasons?
Yeah, he's got like 3 or 4 playoff.
By the way, I get what you're saying. I'm just,
if you put 2 league MVPs.
If you put Stroud on the Ravens, they have a better chance to beat the Chiefs last year than if Lamar was on.
I'm not
the
playing
Ravens.
the hypothetical game.
Yeah. The hypothetical game is tough, and I don't want to go
there was a big penalty in that game, not by Lamar Jackson's hands. That really, in my opinion, cost them more than anything that Lamar Jackson did or didn't do.
That's true.
Regardless, the situation does matter. They're in the situations they're in. Goff being on the Lions on this Lions team is part of why they are the way they are. Goff is also part of that. It's just you put Jordan Love on this team and Stroud on that. Then it's only about talent. And you can't factor in the injury.
Lamar stirs that drink. He hasn't even had consistent, reliable receivers or a running game throughout his tenure as a Raven. So 1 year of CJ Stroud, I just can't do it over Lamar, man. I can't do that. But that's just me personally.
I'll die in the CJ Stroud hill. I think he's special. I've seen the film. My list, if I was making this list, obviously this is Broder's list, but I would go off what player, no matter what the team around him is, who would I take to win a playoff game? And that's where I have Josh Allen way lower on the list. He consistently has turnover issues. He's reckless with the football. When he runs, he might be able to run over someone, but he fumbles a lot. It's cost them games. I prefer quarterbacks who make the winning plays like Jared Goff. I don't know if I could put Jared Goff over Lamar because of the 2 MVPs, but what I can do is put Jared Goff over Josh Allen because I believe I would take Jared Goff in a winner go home game. I would take Goff. I would take Stafford.
I wouldn't argue that,
Yeah.
But
I have no problem with your argument or confirming like the Josh Allen. Like you have Lamar down there, you also have Josh Allen down there. Like how you thinking about it, I can understand that. To say CJ Stroud has proved the eye test says CJ Stroud's gonna be special, but to say you're sure CJ Stroud can lead you in a playoff game more than some of these other guys after seeing 2 playoff games?
Yeah.
Looked good in one, looked pretty crappy in the other one.
Yeah.
Didn't they play each other?
I just need to see more, and that was why I had him low.
Didn't they play each other in the playoffs? Texans, Ravens?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, the Ravens won second round?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Lamar Jackson showed exactly my opinion why he deserves to be at least number 2 on this list.
Yeah.
Both with his legs, with his arm, played a clean game as well. It was a clear difference between the two of them. If you're talking about potential, like when we talked about the Tigers earlier, when you're talking 2, 3, 4 years down the road, CJ Stroud is one of those quarterbacks that you're probably, like you said, the 1 or 2 top quarterbacks that you would build your team around.
Special.
But as it relates to right now, 2 league MVPs, and realistically, the reason why you probably don't have a ring right now is because of the best quarterback in the league in Patrick Mahomes. That's the only downside to what I see with Jackson right now.
I'll argue a more realistic option because my number 2 would be Joe Burrow. And I think the recency bias of his injury is throwing him down on this list.
He has been to a Super Bowl.
He has been to the Super Bowl. He has led teams with not great O-lines, which is the hardest thing to do as a quarterback.
Come on. Yeah, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Everyone wants to use the weapons thing against Goff. He's got the best way. He's got Jamar Chase.
Lamar has done it with less weapons.
But sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
They have the weapons, but their O-line has been shaky, and it is a tough thing to overcome. Lamar always has a top O-line. Goff has a top O-line. I'd love if Burrow with a top O-line, I think would be easily number 2. And if the Bengals had a top O-line, they would be the second Super Bowl contender in the AFC. But they don't.
Because they paid him $55 million 2 years ago and can't. Their offensive line is getting better. But, again, that's hypothetical to me. I get it. Joe Burrow is incredible. I'm not playing the hypothetical game, though.
And it's valid. I got to get better at not using hypothetical examples.
No, it's hard to avoid sometimes.
It is.
It's what makes the conversation so interesting.
It's all
speculating.
hypotheticals.
There are hypotheticals. Every quarterback would look different on a different team. Dan Marino, like Matthew Kruger brought up in the chat earlier. If he's on a different team in a different era, he might have 4 or 5 Super Bowls. Like he was as talented as anybody throwing the ball, but he ran into some incredible teams and he just never won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, like
it happens.
There are levels to this. There are all different ways you can approach it. Let me know what you think of the big mock of the top 10 list. I hope you guys all put A's, but I understand it all.
Yeah, and just to add on to your example there of people who just couldn't get it done. 2 of my favorites of all time, people like Charles Barkley. Not Charles, but Karl Malone, Gary Payton.
Yeah,
joined up with the Lakers in 2004 to try and win a ring.
Oh,
so sad.
So sad. They needed some Soroki's crispy chicken and pizza, which I'll tell you. We also got Justin's going to deliver some news Got some updates on the Scotty Scheffler situation
Yeah,
when
that
we
is
come back.
crazy.
Before we get into what's
Yeah.
trending with JB, but let me tell you about Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza, because they're taking over Michigan. They got locations popping up all over Metro Detroit. They got crispy chicken, crispy sandwiches. Look at that. Those fries, the pizza. They're known for their quality hand-battered and hand-breaded chicken tenders, sandwiches, New York-style pizza, all of it. You got to stop in. Be sure to stop in and try it at a mega station near you, or go to www.sorokis.com.
Drive into summer and drive into savings during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest Memorial Day sale ever. We're stocked with new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs, all priced to move. Like this 2024 Silverado for only $217 a month. Or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $199 a month. Find your freedom in a Feldman at the Memorial Day sale going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that, hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. They got 18 locations, so there's got to be a dealership in your backyard. Just visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Also, check us out at Feldman Chevrolet of Novi once a month, coming up on a Tuesday or a Wednesday soon. They're great hosts, part of what makes Feldman Chevrolet Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
Let's rock. What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. I hope the start to your weekend and your Friday has been a good one. We appreciate you, chat family, for helping our start to this day be a good one as well. Let's smash that like button and let's get through our likes goal for this stream. And it helps to get this out there for the algorithm. But I know we have a little bit of breaking news. I want to make sure I read this super chat as well before
yeah, the perfect transition from Dante.
Before we throw it over. I saw Dante. We saved this from earlier. 1999 super chat. Shout out to you, Dante, for always supporting, not just even financially, but what you do online, keeping us hip on everything that's going on. But Scotty Scheffler faces charges of second-degree assault of a police officer, third-degree criminal mischief, reckless driving, and disregarding traffic signals from an officer directing traffic. Scotty Scheffler was released from prison, I believe.
Yes, he was released a little while ago to go back to the course. There is no word on if he will receive a penalty for missing his tee time or not. But his tee time's at 3:05. There's also speculation, which I have not been able to confirm yet. Keyword, have not been able to confirm. So rumor that there were whippets in the back of his car.
Weapons?
Not whippets.
What did you say?
Whippets.
That's such a college thing to do.
Whippets. Tell us what that is. Break that down.
A whippet is a canister that you can you inhale, and it's laughing gas, pretty much.
Gotcha.
If you've ever seen the
drugs.
movie
No.
Kids, yes, they do it in that movie, and basically, I think they had like a whipped cream can or something like that. It just kind of basically, you just suck the air out of, and it kind of gets you high.
Is that what Steve-O from Jackass was addicted to? Whippets?
I thought he was addicted
I
to
thought he
some
was
other
addicted to
stuff.
some other stuff.
Yeah, I thought he was on some way stronger stuff than whippets. But
Yeah, probably also.
Yeah.
Also. But
Shout out Steve-O, man.
Scotty Scheffler, and they're showing up on the TV. It looks like he's set to tee off in about 28 and a half minutes. Scotty Scheffler, for you guys who don't know, one of the best golfers in the world. I don't follow golf too closely. I like playing, but I don't follow it too closely.
He's the
But
best
this
golfer
situation-
right now.
What was that?
He's probably the best golfer right
Is
now.
he the best? Is he number
Yes,
one?
he is. He's number one.
Oh. This is a massive story.
And then second degree assault. That means there was an altercation because I heard there was a pedestrian that was hit and killed. That's why the police were even there in the first place, trying to direct people, you know, to where to go and to stay off the crime scene. He shows up trying to get to his tea time, and apparently he had some kind of altercation with the cop. So I don't know what exactly he said to the cop. Maybe he was on this pompous shit, like, hey, I'm Scotty Scheffler. Who are you to stop me? And maybe they got into it, but who knows, man? But that's crazy.
Cops do not care who you are.
They don't.
Scotty Scheffler, do you know who I am? They don't care. It doesn't matter.
You know who I am, Scotty Scheffler.
Maybe it'd be different if it was like the NBA or like the NFL, more recognizable faces. This is golf, and I understand they make a shitload of money, but a lot of people don't know. Probably, if you put 10 faces of premier golfers right now, you probably wouldn't be able to name 3 of them, really.
Liv Morgan.
Right?
You saw Tiger Woods, and they'll be like, that's still the best golfer in the world.
Tiger Woods, y'all.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. And you know what? The NBA and NFL players, they barely getting away with stuff, man. I forget who said it, man. It was a clip that went viral some months back, and the dude was like, don't you know I played for this? He was like, oh, that's good. And just continued on with the process.
Who was that?
I forget, but I was just like, okay,
Probably
so you're
Austin
playing
Rivers.
the NFL. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
At least he didn't use the excuse, do you know who my dad is? Like, that would have been even worse.
Did that happen?
Somebody did use that. I don't know who, but yeah, someone used that excuse.
It was LiAngelo Ball out in China.
Probably.
Yeah.
You know who my dad is.
You know who my dad is.
Yeah. Big baller brand. No, thank you for sharing that with us, Justin. I know I'm sure some of the other shows, especially D-Mac isn't on today. He's our golf aficionado. Maybe Braylon. I'm sure the other shows will keep you apprised of the situation as it comes through. But thanks for sharing that. Newsman. News this.
News
this. But Kool-Aid, I'll let you intro the intro.
Yes,
we have a very
sir.
electrifying
You guys
segment.
already know it's time to cook it up with JB Smooth. Let's rock, man.
And now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Bizzle.
Let's rock.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
What's up, dog?
What's trending?
What up, though?
Hey, I got to get this out first because I know Justin has a flight to catch. So I got to ask him a question because he is one of the resident hockey guys on the show. So I have to ask you, Justin, how was this a goal last night? How was this not a goal?
It's not a goal.
The puck, like,
it crossed.
They said it's not a goal.
It has to fully cross the line. Like most of the puck, like it has to be over 50%. I believe
that was
is the
over
rule.
50. Look
I
at
feel
that.
like it's over
Look
50%.
at that. That's over 50. That's a goal, man.
But my man jumped from the blue line to actually like save this goal. Like,
bro, that's a goal.
No, that's not a goal. You have to see. I believe you actually have to see white. I believe you have to see white. I'm gonna take that back. I believe you have to see white. I apologize for not knowing the specific rule, but the situation that I was in when I was talking about this with my friends is I believe they told me it is white. You have to see white, and you definitely cannot see white in that video.
Huron Mark M confirms has to be 100%.
Yeah, a lot of people in the chat saying
Yeah, I was about to chime in, being half Jewish, half Christian, an Arnold Palmer myself. I feel like I'm an expert on 50-50. That was not over the line.
No.
Thank you for that.
That joke didn't land also.
Yeah.
but I had to get that one out of the way first. Credit and shout out to ESPN for that because that was truly amazing. I was just confused because I'm like, that has to be a goal, but hey, I guess the puck has to be all the way in. But shout out to Fanatics for this one. You guys want to play a game?
I would love to play a game with you, JB.
The game is, will they sign it or not?
Will they sign it? Our best reactions so far.
Brock Purdy in a Cowboys hat. Will he sign it?
Heck no.
Oh, I haven't seen this. This is funny.
Oh, yeah, he passed that boy off like, nah.
Nope. Nope. McCaffrey in a USC hat.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
41.
He did sign it though, so you got to give him credit for that.
Did he put his stats on there?
Yep.
161.
That's dope.
Purpose yards.
What a dog. Crossed it out too.
Sign a pony.
Are you serious about
A Reds hat.
One of the Reds activated.
What are you guys doing? Are you guys put this in here?
Man, my food lover stuff. I thought it said Red's Hot. I was like, he's signing a hot sauce hat?
Yeah,
He did sign it though, so you gotta give him credit for that. They did sign half of these. So what do you guys think of this?
I think that's hilarious. Awesome. That was funny.
Would you sign a Spartans hat?
No.
Come on, brother.
JB,
Come on.
get that shit out of here. You signing a Go Blue hat if they set you up like that?
I'll probably do the Christian McCaffrey, put like the yards
Cross
and the
it out.
score,
Right.
cross everything
Go
out
green,
on that.
go white on a U of M hat.
Yeah, put it on the back somewhere. Like, hey, it's
that
gotta-
was a
gotta-
flex. That was a flex. Also, notice they were signing in black pen. If you're ever going to an autograph signing, if they'll let you, have the athletes sign in a blue pen. If you really want to increase the value.
Gotcha.
Blue pens on autographs are harder to. It's harder to scam people with all the different ways of memorabilia and cards and stuff. Blues are worth a little bit more than black pen. Weird, right?
Huh.
That's
Didn't know
interesting.
that.
Broder,
Fun fact.
I got something for you.
Hit
Shout
me.
out to Coach Baseball here. As a pitcher, is this the ultimate troll job?
You got the gun going.
Having a fake gun to sit here.
That is fantastic.
That's awesome.
Is this the ultimate troll job?
Oh, this is a college game?
Yes.
That's crazy.
So it looks like, is that Arizona State versus Florida?
Bro, that's pretty cool.
So
I have never seen that before.
I don't think there's anything wrong with this.
84.
Like, this isn't like an unwritten rule of baseball. Or it is trolling the pitcher, but he's just standing there right now.
Right.
In baseball, especially in between innings, or you know,
That's actually hilarious.
there's a
bro.
rally they're trying to have. they're trying to create, like, there have been cups taped up into so many different things. Gum put on helmets, put on hats. Like, what was it when sometimes when your outfielder throws a guy out at first, like they'll tape a couple cups together like a sniper, like your
sniper.
There are
scope,
all
yeah.
kinds of goofy things that baseball players do. I haven't seen a fake radar gun.
No, that's
that was
hilarious.
good. That was good.
You know what makes it, bro? How seriously unserious his face is the entire time, too. He does not break character at all.
Just stone cold,
Yeah.
KG,
Can you
no
play it one more
smile.
Yeah, I got you.
Look at this. It ain't no smile. He's like, I'm serious. You're
Right.
really slow.
I'm clocking you right now. Everything is slow.
I also have beef with radar guns.
Uh-oh.
Wait, why?
Why do you hate radar
why do you
guns,
hate
brother?
Because they don't tell the whole story.
Are they cooked?
They don't tell the whole story, and maybe I'm biased because I didn't throw hard enough to like make it. But it doesn't tell the whole story. There's so many things to pitching.
Yeah.
It's for another day. Maybe chin music.
For another day. Broder, this last one is for you as well. So I
Oh,
got to
thank you.
ask you. Crystal with the next, Lizzie from Canton, or this girl.
When you put in your mind to it, you know exactly what to do
Wait,
indoors.
just wait.
How was that for you?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, it was such a strong race. We were all running so fast, multiple running in the 50s, so I knew I had to go out fast. I had Lick in front of me, so I wanted to be in
This
front.
is her actual
This
voice.
man
by the way.
said refund.
Yeah,
No, we keep going.
I don't want the
that
2 for 1
voice is-
special.
Amazing.
When you put in
That
your
voice
mind
is
to it, you
tough,
know
man.
exactly what to do.
Imagine having to hear that every day in your life.
How was that for you?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, it was such a strong race. We were all running so fast, multiple running in the 50s, so I knew I had to go out fast. I had Lick in front of
Right,
me,
he's
so
trying to see what's going on with the
girl
friend.
on the right.
What's up with the friend, though?
Hold up.
okay,
The
this
Chat
is good,
family,
now we
bro,
keep going,
you trying to start beef
This crowd
between
is so
Terry
amazing.
Foster and Broder.
When you put in
They
your
call her
Minnie Mouse?
Yeah, they call her Minnie Mouse.
I was
That is
thinking,
Terry's girl.
That
I was
is
thinking
Terry's girl.
Ratatouille as he was talking.
Yeah, that voice
Bro.
That
is.
is quite the high voice.
Yeah, that's tough.
She was cute.
Yeah, can you deal with that every day though? That voice.
Yeah.
For a night? For a
Imagine
night?
you going to Pound
Definitely
Town and you got to hear that.
Yeah, easy.
Definitely for a night.
I don't know. She could be a very nice girl. What was that?
I
Swimming?
just see Broder though,
I
like,
think that was
hey,
track.
I
That
see
was-
Broder just like, for the night. Just
Just
stop.
get softer as we go, huh?
Put on the music.
just,
Put on the Marvin Gaye. Put on the R&B.
just took a nose.
You know
dive. Your
what?
shit
Let's just
took a
order some
nose
food
dive.
and watch some Netflix.
Yeah, some Boys to Men. Yeah, Netflix and chill.
Oh, so it's a one-nighter is what you're saying?
He said for a
It's-
night he can
yeah,
definitely.
It's a DoorDash is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'll take it to the end of the road or the end of the night. Yeah. Shout out to you. Hey, below Lizzie from Ken and below Crystal with an X.
Hey.
But the fact that there were 2 of them, I think they get that number 3 spot. Like, they have the potential.
Shout out to Marvin Strong. He said she got a Michelet voice. That is exactly what she sounds like. And Broder doesn't know who Michelet is, but
is it Miss Michelet, the Destiny's Child, the third person, the third Destiny Child?
The third Destiny. No. This was Dr. Dre's ex-wife, I believe. I think he married her, but yeah, that was his ex-wife who
forgot about Dre.
They had a lot of falling out. There was abuse and a lot of shit involved.
A lot of
in
stuff
that,
happened.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happened. But her voice is very, very high pitched, very similar to that.
She abused his ears, or did he abuse? Like, was it
a little bit of both?
Gotcha.
That's it for what's trending, you guys.
Boom,
Let's
JB.
go. What it was trending today?
Boom.
Yo, hey man, what's up with the hat too?
Oh, you know it's the assholes live forever hat. Like usual.
Let's go, JBSMOOOOOV. Woodward Sports MVP in the Titty Booth, man. It's a Friday show. Are we just jumping right into the mailbag?
Yeah.
Why not?
Let's go to Wake Up Woodward mailbag presented by. Let's get that. Feldman Automotive.
Oh, wait.
Oh, not
My
presented by Skinny Butcher.
My bad.
Before you boys run up the
Feldman
mailbag,
Automotive Group.
I just want to say thank you for a great show today. I got to dip out for the airport. I love all you guys in chat. Thank you for tuning in. Great viewership today. Great comments. Great chat. Love you guys. Finish it off, fellas.
Let's ride.
you,
All right, Justin. Newses.
Let's guess where he's going because it's not over water because he can walk on water. He could have just walked there.
Yeah, I know where he's going.
Thanks.
Where?
Denver.
Denver.
Yes.
Oh, enjoy the weed.
What are you doing out in Denver?
Oh, you know what he's doing out there.
I'm going to a concert at Red Rocks and gonna have a blessed time. I'll bring back some pictures for what's trending with JBSMOOOOOV on
Hell
Monday.
yeah.
Oh, wait. Do you know Edward O'Neill mailbag? Do you know what FTP means? It's a team in the division. There's your only hint.
FTP.
FTP.
FTP. F the Packers. Enjoy your flight. Have fun
Fuck
in
the
Denver.
Packers.
Let's do it. That
Let's
was the
go.
mailbag question.
Safe
from
travels, brother.
Ed O'Neill. I got one. It was a super chat from Dante151
Okay.
here in our Feldman Automotive Group mailbag segment. He says, by the way, Dante, thanks for the donation. As always, $9.99.
Oh,
You're the
yeah.
man.
Always showing
He says Michigan scored their second commitment out of the NCAA transfer portal in a little over 12 hours on Friday morning
That's right.
when 3-star safety and Louisville transfer Wesley Walker committed.
I just
Some good
seen it
news.
too, yeah.
You saw it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just seen it earlier.
To be honest, I don't know much about this guy.
Yeah, he's a 3-star. I want to see more 4 and 5s, but I'll take it though. I'll definitely take it.
The fact that Sherrone Moore's dipped into the transfer portal, I got to do some more research before I give like an opinion on this, but I like what's happening.
Yeah.
He's doing some new style of recruiting here in the University of Michigan up here in Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
University
Maybe
of
he
Michigan.
embraces
Up here in
NIL
Ann
a
Arbor.
little bit.
Yeah, maybe. A little bit of money. Dusty May is turning things around on the basketball.
No,
Let's go.
he's
Think.
doing work.
We think.
He's doing work.
It's crazy to see Flannel Sam like smile and talk about Michigan basketball today versus everything that he had to go through with Jawan Howard at the time.
Right. He wanted
It's
his
crazy.
Fab 5 card removed.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
that's crazy.
That's
That's
like, you no
crazy,
longer
bro.
part of the Fat Five. It was just
Whatever
like,
he did as
whoa.
a coach is, yeah, I get it, but yeah, you can't do that.
Man, it's how we love on our teams, and I get it. You know, you saw people turn on Joe Dumars at the tail end of the going to work. How he kind of dismantled that.
Yeah.
You saw people, I love you, Joe, but you got to go. Everybody was out on him, just the same way we saw with Jawan Howard. You saw how he was accepted, how he was heralded when University of Michigan brought him in versus what it was on the other end of that thing of him being fired. So
I had a question from Matthew Kruger, but I do the research to make sure I know. He says, mailbag, if Vince Howard was a real QB in the NFL, are you taking Hendon Hooker or Vince Howard at QB2? I believe he's from Friday Night Lights, and I believe it was Michael B. Jordan who came on. Were they the Panthers or the Lions at that point? Nonetheless, I'm taking Hendon Hooker. I think we may not be able to like see him on the regular season for the Lions, but Hendon Hooker has insane potential. He has some special qualities. He could end up being a pretty good NFL quarterback. I'm going with Hendon.
Yeah, I'm going with Hendon too. I believe in his skill set, and I know we haven't seen a lot of him, but I did watch him at Tennessee. Just electric player, man, and I hope he does get a chance to showcase his talents. Hopefully nothing happens to Jared Goff, but I feel like we have a suitable backup in case it does.
Yeah. Imagine the things they could do if Goff has to miss a game or even some some Wildcat packages or some things Ben Johnson
he can mix it up with Hendon in there. He can really mix it up.
Right. How about this? Xavier D, mailbag, over under 1. The amount of times I'm salty has been the +1 at a wedding. My guy, I'm salty. We disagree 100% on Jared Goff. But I don't know. I'm a fan of I'm salty. He stands on his business, and he has some reasons. I don't agree with all of them, but he has his reasons. I'd invite you to a wedding. And the boys, you got your boys, as a date.
Just a little.
Someone else talk.
Just a little bit of breaking news, though, to add on to the Scotty Scheffler stuff. He will be teeing off at 10:08 today, so there is no penalty for him. So.
Oh wow.
Just
and I heard in the chat it was Rake, so I'm not double checking, but I do trust my dog Rake.
Yeah.
He said there hasn't been any official rumors on the Whippets.
Okay.
So that might just be a little whipped cream that our boy
right.
Justin was throwing at us.
But yeah, it wasn't listed in the charges, so but yeah.
And if he was actually arrested for something more serious and whatever, he wouldn't be playing today.
Yeah.
So there's that. How about to you? DNC and
I just saw that.
I'm going to ask it to you.
Tee it up.
I'm going to ask it to you. Who says no? Mailbag. This is from DNC ENT. Who says no? Ivy, Stu, number 5, 2008 lottery protected first rounder for Brandon Ingram and Najee Marshall.
Please.
It's a lot.
Please.
But
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. At this point, I'd give it all away.
Yeah, what makes it interesting, because obviously you guys know I've been talking about Brandon Ingram the entire season. You get to do this without having to give up 2 of the young pieces that you believe will be starting for the future. You're giving up 1 in Ivy. Stewart, long-term for me, is a bench piece. And you're getting back Najee Marshall, who is a pretty good three-point shooting small forward. This is a deal where if you're talking about moving forward, you definitely do it. Now, that future lottery-protected draft pick, that first round in 2028, that does concern me a little bit because the Detroit Pistons first-round capital, I believe that that's something that needs to be replenished and then further stocked up on. They need to be like these old Celtic teams, the OKC Thunder, where every year you're going into the draft with multiple first-round picks. So that does make me pause just a little bit. But if you're talking about seeing this team be much better next year than it was this year, Najee Marshall, Brandon Ingram would definitely do that for this Pistons squad.
We're beyond war chesting at this point. I get what you mean by that, but we need any type of help we can get. Send them. I don't care. Send them.
Send them.
I'm gonna come up.
Have time to say the D. Just send them.
Send them.
Send them.
I had to find the details of this trade. I'm making up a mailbag question on my own, but there was a Bleacher Report article out there that had a hypothetical trade with the Hawks.
Yes.
Let's talk about it
today.
Okay.
Take it right now.
Oh, you're saying take it. All right, let me tee this up for you.
Jeez.
The proposed trade, this is a hypothetical, not an actual proposed trade that they're thinking about, but the Detroit Pistons receive DeJounte Murray and the number 1 overall pick in this draft for Asar Thompson, Jaden Ivey, and pick number 5.
I do it.
Send
it. I do it. You talking about the dynamics between Kay Cunningham and DeJounte Murray, as well as being able to add that number 1 draft pick, which you guys already know. I'm one of those traded guys. But the more and more I continue to look at Alex Sarr, you're looking at a guy who understands how to pick and roll. You're looking at a guy who does understand. I mean, because you get a little bit more draft capital.
Don't do it.
You can let go of Stewart, or you could let go of. I'm not going to personally, but Adurin. Alex Sarr has some things that you can like.
All right.
You gotta upsell it, because otherwise, where's the value of that first pick?
We gotta
build the value up.
Good call.
I would do that.
Yeah. When I first saw this, and I'll ask you guys too. We're right here at the end. When I first saw it, I didn't see the number 1 pick also included. So I thought it was DeJounte Murray. They get Asar, Jaden Ivey, and a 2024 first round pick number 5. It seems like too good a deal for the Hawks. You get pick 1 and 5 and Ivy and Asar. Like, you can transform your team immediately. Yeah, and you get a number 1 pick. Yeah, I do that.
And I see that guy. If he said Hawks would be dumb to take that trade, you got to understand something though. Like, when you get to a position where you realize that the money you're shelling out there, and that you got young players that are going to need even higher contracts, it gets to a point where you have to break things down and just start over, even if it looks dumb. And that's where a lot of these teams are. You got 7 or 8 teams that are going to be over the apron. There's teams that are going to be doing some deals that you're like, why did they do that? It's going to be an interesting draft and free agency in the NBA this summer for not just the Pistons, but really a lot of NBA teams.
Quick follow-up from Eric Allen. Mailbag, if Pistons accept that trade, would it make sense to trade that number 1 overall pick to another team for a good vet?
That's immediately what I'm doing. I'm getting the number 1 and I'm trading it.
You have to. You have to.
You just sold me an Alex
No,
Sarr.
you got to take a look at Alex Sarr because he does some things that no other big man on our roster can do. And if you pass on Alex Sarr, I don't know necessarily who you're going into the offseason to pay that can do those same things with the potential of being able to stretch the floor. So that's the one thing, just from a basketball breakdown standpoint, you have to look, but am I trading it? I'm going to stay consistent with it.
I'm going to take a look, then I'm trading the pick.
Yeah.
I'm going to look real quick. Oh, okay. Trade the pick.
I would trade the pick and try everything I could to go and sign a Nick Claxton, even though I know he and Jalen Duren clash. Bro, I'm telling you guys, there's a difference between a guy who can set the pick and roll, has a little bit of motion as it relates to paint offense, can play defense at a level we haven't seen here in the paint in some time. That, to me, I'm dying for it, especially off of the era of Ben Wallace and Rasheed Wallace in the paint doing work.
And then the Twin Towers up in Ann Arbor, that's brewing up there. All right, last question. This is probably the wrong one to end on, but maybe it's one we think about over the weekend and come revisit it on Monday. But Herb Nash asked, would you trade Goff straight up for Joe Burrow or Josh Allen? And Weezy D 313 follows up, says for Josh Allen, yes, but not for Bummo.
Say that one more time.
Would you trade Jared Goff straight up for Josh Allen or Joe Burrow? Let that baby marinate. I can't give an answer for you today. I can't do that. I can't walk myself into that yet.
I would say Joe Burrow is just the injury history, man. I might just stick with Goff, to be honest, because Josh Allen, yes, he's a great talent, but like I said, just the risk taking, man. I just don't like some of his decision making at times. That's just me though. But Goff fits what we do here so well. Exactly. I like what Goff does for us. I know he's not flashy. I know it's not like the most exciting thing ever. He gets the job done though. If it ain't broke, why fix it?
Yeah, like I just explained how Josh Allen is a better quarterback than Goff. I think
true, but
it's hard to say.
Also about what fits what your team does well.
Intangibles.
And then we get into the hypothetical where it's like, man, what would Allen look like on this offense? But keeping hypotheticals out of it, Jared Goff is a perfect quarterback for this offense, for this roster, for this wide receiver group and young team.
There's something about chemistry. There's just something about how people vibe together that makes a difference. And that's what I think I'm really starting to appreciate with the Jared Goff-led Detroit Lions team. It's just seeing those intangibles bleed through. Obviously, when you have the type of success that he's now had with 2 different teams, you realize, because a lot of us, our whole opinions of Jared Goff has had to be dug up out of a grave, because we all believed early on, too, that maybe Jared Goff is being sent here to die in Detroit. A lot of people believed we were getting the lesser quarterback by far.
Yeah, a lot of us was a stopgap.
Yeah, a lot of us believed that we were just getting a stopgap. Jared Goff has just continued to prove I'm telling you, I give brownie points for him doing this with the Detroit Lions organization.
I love brownies.
In just 3 years. And people talk about, Stafford, it's not fair to him. He didn't want to go through no more rebuilds, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Jared Goff was sitting here. He did not have to commit to Detroit. He could have told them in the door, guys, you know what? Find me another place, a more suitable place, a place that has a little bit more stability to it. He said, I'm locked in with what's going on here, even when they won 3 games, even when they started the second season off horribly. And then you saw how they approached that second half of that season and last year as well. There's an intangible there that has to matter anytime you're talking about Jared Goff, and the proof is in the pudding.
In the pudding. I like pudding too. I like brownies and I
like caramel pudding. I like chocolate pudding.
Rice.
I don't know if I like tapioca as much. I love lemon though. You got to go with the lemon pudding.
Lemon pudding.
Love lemon pudding. Absolutely love it.
It's only chocolate for me. That's it. That's all
only chocolate for you?
Only chocolate for me.
Great show, chat. Seriously, great show, chat. Well done today. Phenomenal
great calls,
job.
Great show, chat. Shout out to Newses. I got the Godzilla shirt in honor of Brad Zilla because he's always doing work.
Yes,
he's
sir.
a monster out here.
Crushing since 1954.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
All-Stars, baby.
I feel for Japan. Every time Godzilla come up, he just tear Japan the hell up. Like, it's just messed up.
Oh, my gosh, man. What a show. Is that a breakdown now?
That's it, baby.
Hey, shout out to you, chat family. Shout out to the callers. All of the engagement, the mailbag, all of that stuff. We appreciate you guys. All of the likes. Hey, let's get 2 more likes on this stream as well before we end the breakdown. down. Shout out to Justin as well, who had to take off. Safe travels to you. Shout out to Flannel Sam, who will be on Big D Energy today and back with the Wake Up Woodward crew next week.
No. T. Foss.
Oh, it's T. Foss today.
T. Foss is on the desk.
Shout out to the legend, baby.
Wow.
Tune in to Big D Energy, man. It's going to be dope. And shout out to Flannel as well, our vet.
Much deserved day off.
Yeah.
He's with his family hanging out. Flannel's, that dude is a hard worker. He
takes no days off.
No days off.
Your boy,
D-Mac and Neil.
Your boy is also going to be on the heavyweights tonight with Spin.
Yeah, KG, yeah.
Yes,
wait, you back on the desk?
I'm back on the
Let's
desk.
go.
Yes.
Let's go. You know what, because you knew this then at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you let Nick get his shine
Oh,
there
of
earlier.
course. See, I ain't going to step on somebody else.
KG could have been like earlier, like, I'm going to be on the desk too.
No, bro.
That's why I love this place. I love Woodward.
Yeah, I ain't stepping on Nick's shine, man. Shout out Nick, bro. Happy for you, bro.
Let's go. And I'm happy for you, KG.
Appreciate
I'm
you.
happy for people like you, Justin, Nick, Chris, Broder, everybody, JB, who's just walked into this building and just said, you know what, we're working for not just the success we can have individually, but the success of everybody else here,
Yes, sir.
man. It's really that kind of arms locked in, looking side to side at your brothers. You know what? Shout out Detroit's #1 draft pick, Rookie of the Year, KG. Happy for you, brother.
Thank you, man. It's been a great week. Catch me on heavyweights later tonight, man, and have a great weekend. Let's get it.
Let's go.
I'm gonna try.
Shout out to Woodward Sports' MVP. And
This
spinning
man.
both is JB Smooth.
Yo, fellas, another great week. Also, shout out to either Denver Blair or AJ Blair in the chat. They're the ones that actually gave me the idea for our Death Row opening screen picture today.
Let's go. That shit was fire.
And also shout out to Ryan List as well too for working so hard and helping me out to make sure the picture came out perfect. But I appreciate you guys.
You know what?
100%.
Because after the show, I remember we always do our breakdown, we talk, and JB was like, I gotta go work on something. And when I was leaving, I was like, oh snap. What you doing? What you cooking up, JB? I saw like some of our graphics. He was like, I'm about to work on something. I was like, okay, cool. And then him and Ryan looked at me. I was like, all right, let me get out the office then. Y'all do what y'all do. Shout out to you guys, man.
Yep.
Definitely.
And shout out,
man.
Real quick, Rando Smalls. Tell those who matter to you love them, man. Make sure you do that too, man. Seriously.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Definitely, man.
And
definitely.
Chan AAA virus. Shout out to the Asians. Shout out.
Big shout out to the Asians.
Big shout out to the Asians.
Yeah,
That's
I love
right.
anime.
Y'all know
Shout
I
out.
love me some Asians.
Yeah, my ex-girlfriend is half Thai, half Hmong.
Oh, really?
Really?
So we got to get you an Asian girl.
No,
That's what it is. That's
We've
what
been
it
missing
is.
it the whole time.
That's what it is.
You know what? We got
Anybody.
we'll find one for one of these Culture Fridays.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We have to, man.
Discriminate.
I'm on it.
Hey, let's go. You know what? But shout out to Matthew Broder, our credential Detroit Lions and Tigers.
Strike.
Woo! Hey, you know what? I like that incorporation.
Hey.
Great show as always,
You
man.
too, Kool-Aid.
You
Good
do a
work.
lot to make sure that this show sheet, this prep, is what it is every single day. Appreciate you, brother.
Got you, dog. Thank you.
Any last words to the people?
Shout out to this guy. He's handing out all the love. Shout out to Kool-Aid. He does all of our back wall graphics. We got an awesome team who helps with all the graphics. Kool-Aid really taking over the social team and these graphics that we're
Appreciate
using
you, brother.
in the show. He's a big part of how we're transforming, how we're trying to, come into our own as a network over this next couple months, over the next year or two. We're really trying to do some cool things. So this man's a big part of it. I'm
Yes,
pumped
sir.
to be working with you,
Appreciate
Flannel,
Shout out,
KG,
man.
JB, T-Foss, everybody at this network.
Everybody.
Shout out. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Appreciate you,
Got
my
you.
brother. Man, what a great start to the weekend. As you said, it's your boy Brandon Dent, your credential Pistons beat reporter and writer. Smash that like button on the way out if you haven't. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. We love y'all, right? We say love y'all to the people that matter most. We love y'all. Thank you guys, man.
Have a good
Enjoy the
weekend.
day. It's been Wake Up
September
Woodward.
8th, Boot 'em Kids.